We're looking for a big start out of Nico. He's got to get it going here in the first pistol round.
So when we're looking at this bucket, you could see that the intent is potentially to work here towards the A side. The spike is already there. They maybe want to use the jet to try to get a little bit of versatility from Nico to try to spot out and scout out the A side, but they also have the turret from Xander at mid. So that is actually going to cancel any type of mid aggression that the defenders of Big Frames are going to try to do into the sites. But you are looking for an early pick. Whatever kill that they get first here, either on A or B with this 3-2 split that they have for the attacker set of down bad, that's probably going to be the site where you end up with.
Their most successful attacks have always been with the Sage Wall up on the right side of this A site. Yep. Is that the plan for down bad off the break? I thought maybe they're going to play the turret on defense just to prevent that wall drop. Instead, it's on the high ground. So same old strat could work out and pay dividends here. And it looks like a good read from Big Frames early. Everyone is stacking up on this right side of the map.
So Killjoy's turret from Inox already spotted a few guys, and he has a nanoswarm on the orb. So nobody to cross towards his dark cover to start yet, but it's still Xander. It's also going to be Jet on the top of Nico. He gets tagged a bit, no more armor, but Zambi still gets the first blood into the round. As gliding through Nico across the rope, he's looking for a kill towards the back of the site, but as they see nothing, they push out the defenders towards the back spawn site. The wall comes up, the spike comes down, and it's time to play the retake on the defense.
Good stuff from the defense so far. It's now a 2-on-3. Jet is so low, though, here from Big Frames, and she will fall as Xander finds two. It's SVL at the very end, and he's got to hop on that spike for another pistol round. They want them both in that game 3. They're starting off the grand finals with a pistol round win here in game 1 of the best of 5. We can see all 5 maps here in this final.
Oh, 100%. And SVL, you saw him. He had a little bit of a victory dance around that spike. Already off that high on that 3 map series that they actually just won against Balance Esports. They continue by winning this pistol, and the ride continues to be high now for Big Frames, especially on that retake play. It looks so good, at least for Xander and company, of down bad to actually get into the site. But when it comes down to that pulse plan, they didn't have a chance to react. They didn't have a chance to go back towards the spawn side. It was immediately pushed and taken by Big Frames.
And I like that down bad is saying, you know what, screw it. Let's buy the stingers. Let's get aggressive, baby. We can't allow them to get a econ lead. They can't pull away. We got to go toe for toe in this battle. And we're going to see Bancroft spraying it down. There's the double with the help of his Sova agility over the top. And that's exactly what they need. Get Bancroft rolling early. He was so crucial, getting multiple resurrects in their previous matchup.
Exactly. 2 kills and an orb. You're already 1 kill away or 1 death away from getting a res up. And especially now that they have this force buy, if he gets another kill, he could probably res towards the spawn side. But it seems as though because they don't have a stage for Big Frames, they're lurking into the tube. So this is the first time now looking at Icebox in this tournament for this final day that we see some progression towards tube. But the crossfire is already there. There's already one person holding towards that back, and it's going to be the Raze on the top of the railing. Drops towards that ground as we couldn't capitalize on the kill with 35 seconds left on the clock. It's gonna have to be Nerf at the bottom of the B side.
They're onto the site, but the rotation is coming through from Big Frames. They're just waiting on Inox to get there. Nerf is gonna find Bancroft, so the Sage is down. No res coming in this round. 2v3, and it's gonna be a 1-man left for down bad. Just the Sova. Can agility clutch this up? Buying enough time as the spike will be planted with 8 seconds before he would run out. We're going to see the kill from above. SVL, he set up that level of success. Great peek from the Raze. Good patience, waiting for the rotation. And they lock it up here, Alex. A 2-0 and a round that down bad invested.
Definitely, Chris. I mean, on the first round, when they got 4 kills and a spike plan, it made total sense for them to go for a stinger buy. Now they get 3 kills and another spike plan. I was going to say, this is a potential where they go for another buy, and they're exactly going for it right now here for down bad. They're down bad, but never down enough. They're going to continue to fight into the series knowing that this round is going to be a low buy for Big Frames. So they want to try to get the aggression probably from Nico to get an entry, and you have that res. So being aggressive, trying to get things done here for the attackers this time of down bad, it could pay off.
This is so tough. Attacking with just one duelist. We saw it work out for Big Frames on the previous map, Ascent in the semifinals. But I feel for down bad. You got to take these short angles, but that's a good opening as Xander is going to drop Nerf, the star player from the semis.
This is so good because they get the first kill. They could fall back. They could get a heal as well from Sage. Now they pick up the spike. There's that heal, and you could go anywhere they want. Mid side is so open, and now you split the defense. And what are you trying to do here for Big Frames, though? I like the retaliation. They push back down towards that tube. So you saw Raze move down. It was SVL. Didn't spot anybody there, but they're still playing towards the unknown. Are they working towards the A side for down bad? Are they working towards B? We know that it's towards B. They're gambling that it's going to be an A take. So they rotated everybody back towards the A side, and it's going to be an open site for down bad to go for a plant on a 5 versus 4, and his force buy could potentially pay off here for the attackers.
And those walls are so annoying to deal with. Another Bancroft play. Keep your eyes on that Sage on the mini map. He generally watches the flank, and that's going to be a power position at the very end. They're watching mid, and they see nothing. But this is going to be a 4-man push from Big Frames, all following the guiding light. Cryo not connecting on mini flashes, but a quick pick there by Inox. Kills are being traded back and forth, Alex, and now we've got Cryo with an opportunity to lock up the back control. This could be defused any moment if they get one more pick.
SVL just got pinged out, though, so it's a 2 versus 1. That clock is ticking down. This wide swing to come through, but it's Nico that gets picked off, and they will have time. I love what happened there from the counters to counters. They had the guiding light coming out from Sky, but at the same time, the paranoia was thrown from Zambi as Omen for down bad to counteract on that flash. So it came down to a bloodbath all around yellow, and it seems as though it's going to be the defender side that takes the upper hand no matter what. So Big Frames, despite them losing a player early into the round with the force buy that happened here for down bad, they were still able to come back and get the round. But look at this again, Puckett. It's just going to be a scrap throughout this whole half with the economy. You get another couple of kills, you get the max bonus at 2,900, you get a spike plant down, you have money to go for rifles again for down bad.
Big round here. You do not want to go back to Stinger buys. Let's get it done with the ARs. Well, Inox on the defensive side getting the first pick. Insta-res has to be invested by Bancroft.
Oh, no.
Nice
Xander
by
gets
Xander.
caught. Or, sorry, Koala got caught.
He's going to keep rolling here. Take it away, Alex.
All right, so Zambi is going to retaliate back. Sorry about that, Chris. We're going to move at cryo-cells. This is what I talked about. Whenever there's aggression that's happening towards the side, rotate right away or push right away on the defenders. Just try to slow or try to cut down the time it takes for the rotate. So they managed to get the 2 flankers to get into the A side, but unfortunately, everybody else falls into the A side. So it's a 3 versus 2. Cryo-cell evens it up or tries to even it up after getting that first kill, and it's going to be Nerf moving in from the top.
Strong investment of the ult, but couldn't follow up. There's 2 players still on the site. Nerf, can he be the hero again? Not this time. The Sage holds strong as Bancroft, crucial again for the success on down bad, gets their first round win. They got money to buy up. No more loss bonus, though. So it looks like they may have 4 ARs moving forward, not all 5. What does Nico do? I assume he's just going to pop the blades. This shouldn't be too big of an issue for the Jet.
That's definitely what he's going to do at this point here. You don't even see him buy. I mean, I wouldn't mind by him buying a Stinger or not a Ghost, a Stinger or a Spectre. But that said, I think what he's trying to do is make sure that he gets the economy to be able to get an operator into the next round no matter what. So the Blade Storm is going to get popped. It's going to be a default. Koala Noob's trying to push forward towards his B side with cryo cells because, as you said, Chris, the amount of times that they fought back in these force buys, the single round that they lose is going to be a round where they have to save now. And Bancroft rotates back from the A side. You just saw it momentarily as Nerf tried to go for a shot at step on the top of that mid boxes and gets punished for it. So it's looking to be a flawless round for down bad. Nico's pushing in with the Blade Storm, and he capitalizes with that, refreshes the Blade Storm on top of it, and the last person that is now spotted towards the spawn, and Agility gets the kill. And now we have a 3-2 scoreline with 1 round away of tying things up here for down bad.
Yeah, good attempt on the aggressive push on defense. Unfortunately, Agility had a big gun, and that Vandal landed some headies. Agility picks up 3 kills in that round. Also, shout out to Nico's movement. The man's only sitting at 3 and 5, but you saw him beat the recon dart. He pressured the action. He forced players into uncomfortable positions and allowed the rest of his team to swarm behind him. Nico on that jet is going to be an X factor in this matchup in my eyes. On the other side, look out for Inox. That lockdown is ready, and Killjoy has been playing spoilers on either site all day long.
Yeah, you're totally right, Chris. When it comes down to a duelist, you want to look at the first blood on the column and try to see those numbers go up. But if you don't get kills, what you have to do is create space. And Koala Noob is able to do that to allow his team to move in behind him and get these pulse plant situations in their favor. That said, though, you see the Hunter's Fury being popped out as we're trying to cancel the ultimate on both sides, and no players are now detained. So it's going to be an all-out brawl towards this A side with a slow flank coming in from the defenders.
Down Bad did get that spike down once again behind the Sage Wall. Now dropping a second player as Nico is picked by SVL. Defenders advantage. And they are just inching forward. Another Paranoia goes up top. We're going to see the Jet directly above Zambi. He holds his own, though, inside the smoke, finds Nerf, and as the Killjoy drops, he's able to pick another. This is going to give Downbag a big opportunity as Koala Noob is in such a difficult position. Might as well just keep the op here.
Yep, definitely he's going to do that. And that was the question that I had here, Puckett, going into this game, trying to see how can they actually stop this type of wall towards the corner of Generator, as meanwhile Koala Noob seems to be able to save his weapon into the next round. But how do you stop that push coming in from down bad when that wall comes up towards that Generator? They get the plant and they fall back towards spawn. For me, so far, for Big Frames, they have no answer for it. Because when they had one flanker from behind, it was actually 2 players actually from the attacker side. That was Bancroft, and I think that was Xander at the same time, doubling up towards mid and able to win that fight. So when it comes down to numbers on retakes and numbers on a pulse plan, it's still winnable here for the attacker side of down bad. So how do you stop it? I have no idea how you might retake the side towards that front, because they tried to walk through smokes and they still got picked up as well, Puckett.
Cryo is going to have his hands full at the start of this round. You see the drone leading the way. That's where Agility is going to tag him up. Guiding Light answers back with a 4-man flash. That'll buy plenty of time to get the news out. They're over here, boys. The rotation already down as you see SVL on the mini-map there to back up his Sky. And it's only a matter of time before Down Bad either decides we're going all in, or it's time to go down mid, boys.
You kind of hate it that half of his body was sticking out, so he gets wall banged and dropped, which allows your down bad to push towards the B side. But look at this. They're actually falling back towards mid. So the turret could actually see if anybody's pushing forward. And so far, there's the potential that he saw somebody down towards 2. But as they force the rotation out, they're running back towards spawn. Now they're even walking back towards garage to B. So it's a fake to fake, and who wins it? So far, nobody. They've actually given a chance for Big Frames to readjust on a 2-2 defense where they walk back into... Oh, no. Never mind, Chris. Yeah. Never mind.
Nerf is a fantastic player. He is the old man of the team, but he looks very uncomfortable on these Omen teleports. He just gets banged a second time as he is out in the open. Great job by Bancroft and crew to just double back, though, and get that plant down. A little bit of weird timing for the Omen, but you got to just say it like it is, guys. That was another mistake from the old man. As we see the score now going 4-3, it's going to be another save from Koala Noob. Is the op really worth it? I'd love to see a little bit more aggressive AR work. They're getting to be a bit steamrolled there over on the B side.
Yeah, I mean, he's connected with these exit kills so far, so not really given a chance to really put that operator into good use. So you're right here, Chris. At this point, will they want to try to get more aggression on these pushes on mid side, pushes on extremities, where potentially a dash coming in with Jet with a rifle could definitely help, especially, again, the fact that they don't have a Sage for the wall towards the tube. You're leaving a lot of openings, and we talk a lot about verticalities, angles to check when you're actually playing either on attack or defense. But on attack, it seems a little bit harder, but you're giving them an opportunity to get the high ground moving into the kitchen for these splits into either sides A or B. So Big Frames, maybe that could be the call. Try to go for the rifle, try to go for the aggressive pushes with Koala Noob, and see if you could turn this back in your favor.
Koala Noob has done a great job of shutting down the A site, but we haven't seen Down Bad truly commit there. Nico is about to find Nerfed, and this time Nerf holds strong in the kitchen. Will he double up? No, he's traded out by Xander. So a 4-on-4 as Xander will likely just back up to Bancroft, get healed up by the Sage, the added bonus of running that Sentinel. And Rez is still available. So if they really wanted to push it later in the round, you could see him move up to 2. But I expect this spike to start making its way behind an agility arrow over at B.
Well, you're talking about behind. They're coming from behind. 2 defenders pushing up here from Big Frames on the A side, and the timing was just a little bit off. And the alarm bot that's going to be placed on the ground here for Down Bad allows for them to just continue to aggress towards this B side and not worry about a flank for now. So Nano swarms to try to clear out towards yellow, the wall from Bancroft, and the plant is going to come through. But can Down Bad hold this pulse plant with paint shells coming down?
Nice escape by Bancroft. Only takes 16 damage. A little bit of armor knocked off there as well. Koala Noob looking for the op pick, but again, very patient play. There's the trade going down. It's going to be a 2-on-2. Spike totally covered with the Nano Swarm, though. They got to put pressure on these defenders, and Xander is holding his own. His 3rd of the round, and he's just buying time here.
Ooh! And he does manage to get the flick in the end. He was looking at the right side of the green before, drops on the ground, and as he drops, he flicks with enough time to get the kill and the defuse to tie things up on a 4-4. So we question on Koala's Noob's op. It was totally fine into that last round. Yes, they lost a bit of players actually in the process, but when you're setting up for trades, it doesn't matter in the end. Get the round into your favor, make it 4-4, make this game super close, and try to see if you have something up your sleeve against your opponents here of Down Bad as your Big Frames going into this map, because let's face it here, Chris, they had a chance to see Down Bad play this very map, so they have an idea of how they played on the attacker side, but they also have an idea of how Down Bad are going to set up their defense too, and they could potentially take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think Xander's going to be kicking himself a little bit for peeking there at the end. Could have just played time. Instead, it's Koala Noob keeping the op and continuing to strike. Insta-res coming here from Bancroft, and he is going to challenge from top of the wall. Just missing the headshot. He is going to be knocked down to about 40 HP as Koala Noob continues to deny the A site. The jet is heating up for Big Frames. On the other side, we'll see what Down Bad has in store for the B site. It's just going to be the Omen nerfed, and he is about to get overrun if he's not careful.
This is huge, just due to the fact that he doesn't get a kill, but wastes forces out the res, forces out the heal, forces out the wall. So there's nothing that it can really do on the pulse plan, so they can wall bang towards this. Nerf goes for the Weiston, gets the kill, and there's only one left inside the dark cover, being pushed by SVL. They don't really care. They just want to hunt him down. Agility goes down, and Big Frames dominating round there off the back of the initial kills and the wall bang that came from Koala Noob.
And you saw how important that round was. They know if we win this, we got a good opportunity of breaking them for the final round of the half. Let's go ahead and invest the Blade Storm. You see Koala Noob pick up the kills on the flank. He's already up to double digits on the other side. Zambi having a pretty nice game as the Omen. He's the second man in a lot of situations here. He's been doing work, but the rest of the team has fallen too quickly. And Agility on the Sova, not having the best to start. Maybe put down the darts. Let's see if he can just frag out with the boys as they go for a quick hit on the A site. Otherwise, they could run into the op once again.
Well, speaking about the op, it's just around the corner, and it's close range on Koala Noob to connect onto Bancroft. So a key player being for Down Bad is definitely Down Bad. That's no heals, no walls for the post plant, and SVL is still holding his ground towards that back. So 2 kills of his own, trades to come out, a showstopper to add to a triple kill for the man, and Inox is going to pick up the last kill onto Zambi. So we are now at 6-4, and so far here, Puckett, it's been them pushing very aggressively for Down Bad and just being shut down every single time. So I think a level of comfort, as soon as the money's right finally here for the defender set of Big Frames, it's starting to look one-sided.
Yeah, Big Frames is looking great. Koala Noob doing a great job with the operator in the back of A. And then I think it's really Inox. His turret placement has completely nullified the middle of the map. We have not seen any action up the gut of this. It's always been all around the perimeter, and I think you're seeing the rotation. They've got it down for Big Frames. Finally switching up the location of the op. Collateral opportunity as Koala Noob already striking, takes down Bancroft, the star player on that Sage.
And he misses his second shot. It could have been a nice flick, and he gets punished for it. That could be an off that gets picked up by their own jet right now. And Nico, exactly him, Suya, the brother of Mina, gonna try to get things done now as he flicks across, but Cryocell comes in for the surprise and off the corner, picks up the Vandal and looks for the kill. But Agility stays alive for now, and that's it. Nerf just behind to set up for the trade, and they now take a 3-round lead going into the last round of the first half, looking to make it 8-4, with seems to be a healthy buy here for the attacker side at least.
Yeah, if you remember, Down Bad, they crushed their attack. It was an 11-1 half last time they played Icebox.
True.
This time,
True.
You're down big. You got 4 rounds, but it was all in the middle, and now it's been 4 straight for Big Frames. Big Frames could put an exclamation mark on this half with another round win. And you have to think, what can they do here with the Hunter's Fury? You got the Sova. There's no lockdown coming into play from Big Frames, so Down Bad, let it rip and clear out the site.
That's it. And that's the exactly thing that's going to happen. But they have an early guiding light coming out too from Big Frames, and they just push down. That's 3 kills. Agility with 2 of his own, but not even needed to take down the lockdown. Push out, get the kills, and get the round secure this half for Big Frames as they take the lead 8-4.
8-4. Now we got to see what they got in store for us on the attack. You got a Jet, you got a Raze, you got the Omen. Mobility check. Cryo
That's
back
it.
on the sky, sitting at 11-9 with 9 assists already and a frenzy in hand. All the flashes you could ever ask for. Check. Inox, the monster on Killjoy. Her kit sucks, but the man's got great aim. Let's watch him go to work. There's a reason they brought him over from Iceland.
Yeah, especially to play a map like Icebox. It's probably the same type of weather. Now, we're going to see what's going to happen here for the attack as they are looking to just storm out towards this B side. The thing is, though, you do have their Jet on the defender side just hiding around the corner for Down Bad. This could be a do or die situation. And actually, after that big paranoia, it's kind of safe from the dark cover. You're trying to move in a little bit closer, and Nico is able to melt 2. And Zambi with the crossfire gets 1 of his own. But it's still going to be a 1-minute advantage going in for Down Bad as we are moving in towards the site to at least try to get a plant in. And Cryocells is going to be the one that's going to be able to get it. Nerf does see one towards the underpass at the tube and still manages to get the headshot onto Xander. Now he connects onto the second.
Time.
He's looking for the ace. It's clutched it before. Can he clutch it again? It's a 1 versus 1. The spike has been planted for him on top of that, and he has a big paranoia, a big fat paranoia to try to win this clutch.
And most importantly, he just saw Bancroft. He hears the drop as well, and he goes for a little bit of an early paranoia. Now, ice walls in the first round. They can be devastating, but not if you leave a gap, and Bancroft realizes that he is in trouble. This should be easy peasy as the headshots line up. No! Bancroft finds the heady and gets the defuse. That is the momentum changer Down Bad needed.
How do you not connect that? He was even looking at the wrong angle for Bancroft on the defuse. He was looking down towards orange and somehow gets off the spike, flicks across, and gets the headshot onto Nerf. That is so heartbreaking for the veteran here for this team. I mean, this guy has the experience if you're looking at Nerf. He did join Renegades for a short stint when that first team was first formed until he was replaced by Retro. Now he's looking for a new home, able to find it and continue to dominate here with Big Frames as they're still looking for an organization themselves.
Oh man, what a huge play by Bank playing on that Sage. Flicks right up off of the bomb after getting it halfway. Nerf just a little rough timing. And you're going to see the high ground taken as they come in on the attack. Bancroft gonna be there with the SMGs, and they continue to land. It's going to be Xander and Nico. A quick round as we go to the buy. A quick word from our sponsor. Shout out to GoPuff.
Get some late night snacks.
Out of toothpaste.
Seriously? No energy drinks?
Get 30 days of free delivery for new customers at gopuff.com/WSOE. Order in seconds, delivered in minutes.
Delivered in minutes. I could use that here in New York City. A bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee sounds great about now. Let's jump into this next round, though, as we take a look at the money. It's really just sheriffs across the board for Big Frames. On the other side, back-to-back round success here from your defenders starting to find their form. It's Down Bad coming back after 8-4 half.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, Puckett, when you looked at that pistol, oh, but speaking of pistols, that was a great shot from SVL, but that was a momentum changer for Down Bad. They got a nice round on that second one, and now, unfortunately, though, they wanted to continue the momentum, but they lost a player early. So SVL gets a kill. On top of that, though, at least they put Koala Noob down to roughly about 10-15 HP, so they still have to work it slow here for Big Frames. But it seems as though it's going to be a move slowly towards the A side. Inox with the Killjoy bot, looking with the turret to see if anybody's going to push back towards mid. So the same type of strategy as before, where they're going to try to blow into the B site.
With agility down, that is going to be your information source, and you can just see how many flashes, the smokes, all blocking off this site.
Yeah.
As Nerf is going to get in the face. Here's Bancroft on the other side with the AR spam, and he is just going to tuck away in the corner for now. His smoke is going to go away, though, and he's got to act quick. Instead, it's Bancroft again winning the duel.
A heal then on top of that, so it was a do-or-die situation. You had to be fast on the trigger as soon as the smoke dissipates. Spike here has been killed on top of that, so that's not any extra money here for the attackers to try to bring in some more into the next. Even with 10 seconds left, you know they're going to be on a low buy. Just rush in, try to get a plant. You want to die no matter what. That's good enough because you don't want to come out into the next round with only 1,000 credits, rather. You want to get the full bonus, and the full bonus is definitely needed moving into this one here.
Yeah, they used to have the little gun save action. Riot's like, nah,
Yep.
You save your life, you're only getting $1,000 moving forward. Better off to just die. Keep that death bonus rolling. Now you got the operator for Koala Noob. Nerfed is going back to his Phantom, but this is the crucial round. If you're Nico on the Jet, you gotta take care of business in the 1v1 versus Koala Noob.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun to watch. So you have Nico watching in towards the A side, but you're not going to see a battle or a duel between the operators yet on the A side. You see on this minimap that Koala Noob is actually posted up to look under tube, so they could take control of a mid split. But the timing seems to be off as he looks back for a push on A main. Bancroft came towards lower tube and got that first kill on to SVL. So one to fall, an early 5-on-4.
And Bank was so quick. You saw the insta wall in the tube. He drops out the window, takes a fight.
Yeah.
SVL out of the action. Slowing things down with the spike still in the back. You do have the Omen ult available here for Nerfed. On the other side, we got Blades and a res up here for Down Bad. So keep Bank alive, and you got this round secure. Just take your time. And now they're going to invest the Sky Ultimate on the other side for Big Frames. Cryo, though, can't connect on Bancroft, and instead, it's going to be 2 more kills. Just the last man alive, the Jet here from Big Frames, and Koala Noob, he's going to try and keep the op. You can't expect him to 1v4 this, or will he get it done somehow, some way?
Very possible. He got the first kill, but as you said before, Bancroft has a heal. He also has a res. So there's a potential that there's another 4-on-1 situation again, especially if Koala Noob is able to land another shot here. But the first point of contact could potentially be that Sage, who's just hiding just behind that wall. And see how Koala Noob, he's looking for that flick. With 17 seconds left, I don't know if he's going to try to bait any of their opponents out. He's definitely going to go for the save. But here comes a big flank in the end, though. You do have Killjoy just around the corner, and that's coming in from the long side at green. He's aware of it. The turret's out, and even the shot gives his position away. He's now close, trying to go for the right clicks, and cannot connect onto Xander. Unfortunately, the operator does not stay in the hands of Koala Noob.
They'll pass that off to Agility, who's going to hand it back to Nico. Another solid round, as it is 4 straight here for the defenders. This game back and forth, an 8-4 defending half for Big Frames, but on the attack, they have had no answer. And once again, they have limited resources. So they'll go to a Stinger hit. Stingers most successful on the A site, B site wide open. Unlike your opponent, you have no ice wall to shorten the site length. So you're expecting an all-in hit on A if you're Down Bad, and they will set up appropriately. The Killjoy equipment all over the place, and they have a 3-man stack there already.
And especially with the stingers that they have here, Puckett, there's a potential that it could even try to use the showstopper to open up the site. But Nico in a different angle with the operator, looking at it from the A nest, and that flash does not affect him. And even the paranoia, that hits him, but that's definitely the call that they're hitting towards the A side for Big Frames. And it's Xander holding this ground. We're saving our showstopper. We're still trading it out on a 3 versus 3. We just want to get this third kill, inside the site. But Bancroft stands his ground and slows down the push. Now at the maze, close range Nerf trades it out. It's a 2 versus 2. Somehow it's doable because the last 2 players are still a bit far out towards the spawn side. And Nerf could maybe get it done with his teammate SVL.
Nerf has been so clutch in these scenarios in the past. Will he be able to do it on the attack, buying time for this spike? Instead, the Stinger at range, not what he was hoping for, and it's going to be Nico with the flick. That's going to be diffused by Zambi, and another round for Down Bad. After being down 8-4, they're now up for the first time at 9-8, and they've got economic control. The operator still in hand. Ultimates, 4 of them ready to pop against the 3 from the attackers.
That's it. They have the ultimate ready for Inox 2 if they want to try to explode into the site, but that could get immediately canceled by Xander's own lockdown on the A side. So how do you counter this right now? They actually did use the showstopper for SVL once they got that plant in. So I think he tried to pull it out after the spike plant, and because of the nerfs onto Raze, it takes a longer time to get the showstopper out. So he probably got punished for that. So being nerfed, you kind of wish you had a rifle on the ground on that 2 versus 1 instead of that operator that was left behind. And Big Frames, well, they're going to be the ones that are down bad at this point.
Devil's out. We'll see if the Tasmanian can find anything. Instead, it's going to be Xander from the Raptors playing deep, and they are going to be playing behind a lockdown, I assume. Give them the spike plant, then let's react. That's the game call, is they're going to make the rotation, waiting on Nico to come all the way over from the B site. Spike's still not down yet, as Final will be Nerf the Omen, who will plant it and then teleport his way out.
Yeah, this is a funny one, actually, because like you said, Puckett, there's a chance that they could come back with the lockdown or retake. But the thing is, they have it as well for the attackers, and there you go. So that pretty much cancels it all out overall. So you're just playing the long-range distance. You can't really get into the site. It's not really planted for you, though, as Xander gets 2 kills. There's only 2 players left alive. Is the lockdown going to work? It's going to take a couple of players. They've been detained, and when they're going to try to push through, look at them. They're just hiding through the smoke right now. One didn't get detained, and that's just going to be the defuse.
I like it. Get it to half. You let your Omen teleport in after the lockdown goes off, finishes the plant, while the other 2 are in their own lockdown. Weird attack, better defense, and we're going to see once again it's Down Bad in the driver's seat. Bancroft, he let us know. We asked, what's your fun fact? He says, I'm not getting paid. Somebody sign this man. He's dropping 18, 12, and 7 as a Sage. He is being the entry fragger on the attack and the clutch master on the defensive end. On the other side, though, finally, we're going to see Vandals out for Big Frames, and this is a critical round. They got to stop the bleeding. They have given up 6 straight.
That's right. And if anything, if Bancroft doesn't get signed right now, he's still going to get paid if he continues to play this way with Down Bad. Get in the first place of the WSOE Online 5, the Valorant tournament. And they are looking strong and good finally as they take the defender side. It looked like it was going to be close, but you definitely see that level of comfort. The reason why Down Bad picked this map here on Icebox and how they're up ahead with being undefeated so far in the second half on defense.
Bomb Buddy is going to clear the way, but it's Xander striking first. SVL will answer back, and Koala Noob will turn the tide in the favor of Big Frames. Rez is still available, though, and that's going to be Bank on the rotation as Zambi finds a third. And we're going to see this one start to slow down as the spike is planted. Defense is just going to reposture and go for a big retake. Agility finding Koala Noob, who got aggressive.
And that's a big seeker. That's going to spot them all, and to get 2 kills on top of that, just like that. It's been turned around. Only 1 player alive to go here on the defense. It's going to be Zambi as that Omen. Looking back towards that front of the site, sees no double peek yet. Going for the spike. At least he's able to force out the showstopper. But this is good. You don't shoot it yet because you're trying to waste that clock down. And as he shoots it, finally connects as SVL. And Big Frames, a much needed round here on the second half, finally capitalizes on it.
That's a huge area of effect there for SPL. He is going to get the rocket kill in his 17th. Cryocells, we've been showing some love to the boys like Bancroft from Down Bad, but how How good has Cryo been tonight? Crucial in the semifinals. Again, a big performance on Sky. 13 assists to go with the 17 picks. I'd love to showcase the Sky a little bit more. Not the entry man, but definitely one to frag out after getting the initial information. He's going to be scouting out B. Meanwhile, the rest of the team stacking up over at the A site. And after he gets the clear, there's no one close by. We can start to push up. He'll be watching mid as this spike should be moving. And as I say it, there's a little bit of info given up. If I'm Big Frames, I slow this down and see if anyone panics on the defensive end.
So far, they haven't been. They're actually stacked up on the backside of screens, playing a little bit more passively. They want to get the site for Big Frames. They're okay to play the retake. They even have a Hunter's Fury that's pretty close by at Boiler if they want to try to cancel it out. But you see the position that they have right now for Cryocells. He's on the top of the A site nest. They're just trying to bait out the Hunter's Fury, and it works. And the plant is perfect for where Cryocells is at.
Spike is planted. Lockdown now initiated. As the defenders try and retake the site, everyone is forced out in Cryo's power position. Well, the nest be gone. We're going to see this Spike hopped on with a whole lot of support. There it is. Tickling it. Bank knows he can just force them back by making noise on the zip line. And the defenders, what did it take, Alex? An agility ult to slow down the Spike, and then just the Killjoy ultimate to force them all off of A.
How good is that? I think I understand why Nerf tried to lean out towards that site at the belt and got picked off, because everybody else had to run away from the radius of that lockdown that was placed by Xander. And being so far out and having to run back in on a map like Icebox on the A side, it seems like such an easy defuse for the defenders. And that, again, demonstrates how strong of an ult it is for Killjoy and for Breach for this retakes, and it definitely shows its true colors on Icebox.
Nerf has been getting caught off guard when he goes for these teleports. This time draws first blood, but Xander continues to hold the door at A. Finally, SBL will take him down. A has been opened up, and it's all of a sudden all up to Bancroft. The last member down bad with the Vandal in hand knows every bit of damage he does here will help hinder the economy moving forward. But Big Frame set up for success, trying to bring this back to 10-11 after a big start as they break down the middle for the first time this game.
Oof, and they're chasing after him on a 3 versus 1. They just want to try to make sure that Bancroft cannot save his weapon, and Bancroft picks up a Spectre, then to a Stinger, and he's just running it in. SBL does get the kill. I probably understand why he's running in on top of that, because it wants so many rounds in a row here for down bad, which shows that, you know, you could maybe try to clutch it being the Bancroft that you are. We talked about Xander and Bancroft on that first series when they played. They're back now on the top of the scoreboard again. 2016 for Xander, 19 and 15 for Bancroft. They had to figure out a way to stop these two devils.
2 of the last 3 rounds, though, have gone in favor of the attackers after an incredibly slow start to the second half. Can they stay hot? Who is going to get the first pick? Can Nerf be the hero again? Will they see their Jet Kowalnoob find form once again? He's got the blades out, and he's going to lead the charge straight into a double Vandal as Nico trades out 2 of the first 3 kills. It's an advantage once again to down bad.
So far, they are able to make it into the spike, but maybe around the corner. As he peeks out, you're able to not go for the plant. Actually, you're not able to go for a plant, but at least you're safe. So he goes back into the site, gets the plant down. It's a 2 versus 2 as the Seekers did come out. So now the attacker side is able to bring out a Killjoy ultimate, and Cryocell goes for the flank, to get the 2 kills in the end, and they clutch that 2 versus 2.
Oh, I know Inox's feet are sweating after that round. He tried to plan out in the open to make it easier to defend. All of a sudden, Agility peeks his face out from the corner, survives, gets the plant, and then Cryo doing the tickle from the back. Goes in and picks up his 21st kill, a 3K in that round. It has been all attackers. We have tied it up. Can they steal this game away after a fantastic first half? They're finding their form, and they're going up against all pistols here from the defenders. This could be the game-changing moment.
You've definitely seen it, Puckett. The advantages that they've had for big frames, the rounds that they're able to win, is split that mid control. They're not able to fight back yet for down bad, which is why if you're looking at this minimap this time, they actually pushed a couple of players under the tube, and on top of that, put a wall up. So they're readjusting at least for down bad, but is it going to be good enough? Because big frames, once they take control of this mid side, they're going everywhere. They went towards A side and it worked. They went towards mid and it worked. They went back towards B and it worked too. So now, when the wall thaws up and it's about to break down, what can he do with this for down bad?
Yeah, keep your eyes on that Sage. He is trying to keep control of the center of the map. Could also go for a late backstab, but the Omen play is so patient. Nerfed is just waiting for someone to challenge. Meanwhile, SVL is going to find the opening pick. Nika will answer back as Cryo trades it out again. It's big frames with B control here.
Just around the corner, it's going to be a classic close range. It's a Sheriff, rather, and it does not connect for a kill. Koala Noob decides and is able to dash away a big paranoia, but Koala Noob is not affected by it, and he's able to punish Sammy on top of that, and we're just chasing kills in the end. It is going to be the half buy with the Sheriffs and the pistols for the rest of down bad. We're looking at map point here with 4 HP remaining for Agility, who lands with the first headshot, but it gets immediately traded out by Nerf. And like I said, it is map point for big frames.
What a weirdly fantastic game. 8-4 first half. You give up 6 in a row, and then you start to pop. We've got ops available on both sides. Koala Noob, though, might not have the armor. Instead, they're going all ARs, and this could definitely pay dividends.
Yeah.
When you look at the ultimates, though, this is a big one if you're Xander. You've got the Killjoy lockdown. You got to stay alive to make sure that it is put to use. And Agility, he can do damage from afar, stop a plant with the Sova Hunter's Fury, or of course just go for some early damage in that information after a recon dart.
I'm actually surprised that big frames are still deciding to go towards the A side, because the last time this happened and we had a Killjoy available for Zambi, it was just easier, or sorry, for Xander, it was just easier for down bad to take that round back. And especially in the last round of regulations and a Hunter's Fury to connect with 2, can he get a kill? Koala Noob dashes right into it, and we are looking one step closer to an overtime. But at least we have the spike planted. We have the showstopper to come out. It does not connect for a kill, but it creates space. And it's still lost, though, in terms of big frames. 5 versus 2. Cryocells moving forward, gets picked off, SVL on his own, and now we are going into overtime in the first map in this grand finals best set of 5. You cannot ask for anything better here, Puckett.
I can ask something of our crowd right now. Guys, cheer on the first OT of the night by going over to twitter.com/WSOE. Find that pinned tweet and drop a like. Let's get it to 1,000 likes and unlock a $1,000 bonus for our winning team. Let's get them to 6K. That's $1,000 for each of them and some for the coaches on the background. Let's go, though. It's OT here, and we're going to be kicking things off as we take a look at our attackers. It's going to be the boys from Down Bad on the attack first. They had a terrible first half on the attack. They've got to win the pistol here. It's got to start right now.
Definitely. And on top of that, Chris, I just looked back on Twitter. We're only 63 likes away. So all we need is anybody from Twitch chat. The 8.8K watching right now. 63 of you just hit the like. And then I want another 600 of you to hit the retweet. Because if we actually do hit the retweet, we also add another $1,000 to the prize pool. So nothing but support here for the Tier 2 Valorant scene, and we need your help for that, and we appreciate you for that as well, and for helping out. Back now with the overtime.
Hop on your
Down bad on the attack.
So, I was gonna say, hop on your sister's TikTok. Comment, like, subscribe. Let's do it all. All right, let's go. First kill. Who wants to move first? It's been 30 seconds off the clock as we're plugging socials. No one on the map wants to move. Finally, it's going to be Cryo from Big Frames on the defense using the Tasmanian Devil to clear the tube. No one seen through middle. This is going to be a slow and steady play. Look for a first pick on A potentially, followed by a big rush, but the defense is ready for it.
Definitely. And like you said, Chris, there's a reason why we were able to plug into socials, because everybody's really nervous in this overtime. It's going to be a last second push into the site. It's going to be a bloodbath. And it starts off with a smoke towards the screens, a recon dart towards the A side. And now the counter smokes and mollies from the defenders too. So Big Frames are doing a very good job to run down that clock. And Koala Noob starts things off with a collateral. A 5-on-3. Bancroft trying to move forward. They're trying to break that turret. And somehow it has platinum armor. Killjoy still keeps it alive. And now they just can't even move past the orb. It's just a perfect hold here for the defenders. And we are back at map point for Big Frames.
I thought they were in so much trouble. The recon bolt gives away the position. No big deal. We've got grenades. We've got nanos. We're going to just shut down the A site. No luck for the attackers. And now it's time to seal the deal. If you're Big Frames, finish Icebox strong and take the lead here in the best of 5. Who's going to be the hero? SVL looking like a stud on that raise. Cryo popping off on the sky. Nerfed continues to impress with the Omen. But the question is, who's going to draw first blood?
That's it. This is where things got difficult. And this is where things remain difficult, because where we saw a lot of good positivity for Big Frames was Koala Noob also on the operator, but this time he's keeping a Vandal and going with the full shields instead and moving with the teams, and they've been struggling on the attacker side without taking mid control. And again, you're not taking any mid control yet for Big Frames, so they're just going to go for an all-out push from green side, and you know, Down Bad has a chance to bring this back.
Hawk out. Love hearing that. Blinded. Nothing so far. Smoke's going to be covering the first Hawk. Second one, going to find the Jet. So slowing them down a little bit, but Nico's still able to spam through the box. Stops the spike plant. That's huge for the defense.
And that's the thing. If you don't have a Sage to put that wall up, you're still out in a tough spot to try to get a plant here on B side. And now they're trying to push forward to gain some map control. Agility going a step too far, and he gets punished for it. So it could still be doable right now. A 3-on-2. Jet just around the corner, though. They're trying to see if they can take him down. A fake plant. SVL's towards the back of the site. His teammate has fallen down, so it's all up to his lonesome. He gets the first. The flick on the second one. A 1 versus 1 with the showstopper. He shoots it. Low HP is going to be the Sage. Bancroft just around the other side, and he's the one that's going to bring it to a double overtime.
All right, guys, can we find Bancroft's Venmo account and just send him some cash? He needs to be paid for his plays. That is the second time he has put the team on his back in a 1v3. SVL almost clutches it, but Bank hits the final shot to seal the deal and keeps them in this one. It's 13-13, Down Bad, back on the attack.
How crazy is that bucket? You had almost an ace clutch from Nerf on a pistol round that was stopped by Bancroft. Then you almost had a 3 versus 1 by SVL, stopped by Bancroft. This guy, I don't want to bring him to parties. He's going to be the party pooper of every party he goes to.
100%. This man in college is not getting invited to any of my frat parties. No beer pong for you, son, but let's see if he can land these headies. The challengers, non-existent, very stoic defense from Big Frames. No one wants to be the first to drop, but it will be a good positioning here from Koala Noob to do some damage and dash away to safety if Cryo is able to back him up here on B.
Well, things are going to stay calm. Down Bad or trying to do the same thing as Big Frames. But the thing is, they have an owl drone to follow up first. And that's going to spot Koala Noob on that double stack towards that site. And just around the corner, they know that Cryocell plays that. But at least you have Koala Noob. A great job for him to drop that recon dart to try to keep things alive and keep Cryocells in a place where he could lurk. But he's already been hit by 2 shock darts. Low on HP, gets picked off. Trying to run through the smoke is going to be Koala Noob playing an off angle, and he gets picked off as well. So a 4-on-3. Big Frames looking for a retake. That wall ensures the safety of the plant. And just around the corner is going to be SVL. The wall has been broken. The spike at least has been planted. And SVL is looking to clutch with Inox.
Inox is finally here, moving up from Snowman. Now you can see SVL go for the peak. But as Inox drops, SVL is in a world of hurt. And I feel like this was just a comp victory. The Sova opened it up with the shock darts. They overwhelmed Cryo. Then it was Nico. SVL keeping himself in it, earns himself a second grenade. Can't find the kills, though, as Nico and the squad get the spike down and another lead, this time in double overtime. They are 1 away from taking game number 1. SVL and crew not out, though, for Big Frames. They could force it to trip with a win here.
That's it. And that's where, like you said here, Puckett, it's a stressful moment. They had a little bit of room to breathe for Big Frames before going into this overtime because they actually were in the lead. But now that it's been tied up, now that it's been won here by Xander and company, it's not looking too good here for Big Frames at this point. So let's see what's going to happen. Big Frames now trailing by 1, and it's going to be Nico and company holding it towards that back of the site. So Nico and Zambi trying to hold it back. The Owl Drone's going to look back towards this mid side at the orb, but it's still going to be very, very slow. Big Frames is trying to work back towards the mid instead.
It's been all defense until that big attacking round as Bancroft is going to find the first kill on SVL. That is the Star Fragger eliminated. 5v4 for the defenders as they've got the read over here on the B site. Nerf is going to answer back, so it's a 4-on-4 as Agilities drops. And now Bank getting into position. Spike will be planted. What is the plan on the retake?
Oof. It's Bancroft. That's the plan. So he gets a second kill now onto Inox into this round, looking for the hat trick with success. Now it's a 4 versus 1 just like that. One more to go. It's going to be Koala Noob. He's been good with the op. Is he good enough with the Vandal? We're sticking on that plan. Oh, I think he got spotted. And that's it. The crossfire from both sides on orange and on yellow. Just together, it creates red for blood. He falls down, and it's going to be down bad, up by 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 going to down bad as they bounce back after an 8-4 half. We'll see, can they lock up the grand finals? Game 2 coming up next. On the way out, hit map throughout all of the group stages, throughout all of the qualifiers. They struggled in the semifinals. What do they need to clean up here now that we're in the grand final?
Like we said before, when we saw Bind play, when I was casting with Frodan, not having a Sentinel, I thought they would try to fix that a bit. But no, they're going to keep the Sentinel going, and they're just going to push more aggressively towards this B side, and it pays off well because they got the first kill going through. They're moving into the site as Inox gets an entry kill, and Nerf goes for the frag to avenge his teammate and protect Inox to also get a plant towards this B side. So a 4 versus 2, the last 2 players to rotate from market. Nerf melts the first with the frenzy and is looking for the second, but Xander has one equipped of his own. Fault line to come out. Xander looking down towards that window, gets the dink, but it's still going to be cryo cells set up for the trade to keep his teammate alive and get the point on the board here for Big Frames.
Big Frame starting off hot, nerfed with 2, but the opening kill, it was SVL who had the hot hand back on Icebox, and Inox, who, I'll be honest, I was hyping this man up throughout the semifinals. He had a really rough Icebox. This could be a different map, though, and although he didn't have a star performance last time they were on Bind, I want to see, can he find that comfort zone on Breach? Because so far, his best games have definitely been when he's on Killjoy.
Take flight.
Definitely with that, they're looking to follow up with the Owl Drone on the attack with Inox. Moving forward now as SVL somehow connects with 2 kills, so it was a double pressure towards the shower side and a teleporter coming in from the B side, and that gets shut down to a flawless. These guys, I have a feeling, Puckett, that they did not like to lose in overtime on that first map when they had it in the bag, and they're coming out with a vengeance.
How about that fault line to set things up? Inox is going to stun 2, and then the instant pressure on the showers. They are going to wipe everybody. Didn't take any damage. SVL jumping out to 4 kills is going to be so close to that showstopper already. And we're just going to see continued fast hits, I assume. You got the Spectres for SMGs. You got to close that range against the expected Vandals and Phantoms on the other side.
So how to retaliate? You have a cloud burst towards the bottom of long. You want to try to see if you can pick up the orb at the same time too as they pinged it out. But that aggression continues to come out from Big Frames. And look at that entry. A bonus round coming in for Koala Noob and company. And they get the first blood. The trade, the dash into the garden as Nico's trying to stay alive. But Cryo Cells moves up towards the long B to get the kill with the Phantom. So a 4 versus 2. One rotated back towards the spawn. The second one to meet up here for the defender side of Down Bad. But they are also looking in a situation where they could potentially save because of the rifles that they have versus what Big Frame currently has as well.
Inox is just being so annoying at the end of elbow flashing, stalling things out. Koala Noob is going to find another as he shuts down Xander, and that's 3 straight, including the ever-important rifle round. Now you got your opponents broke. They're back on sheriffs. The world is your oyster. Where do you want to go? B? You want to go to A? You want to take our time and try and make them panic and teleport with 30 seconds left? We can do that too. But if I'm making these decisions, if I'm IGL, I'm calling the A site. The breach clears and the triple flash are devastating. And as you can see on that mini-map, there's a 4-man stack on the defensive side. They're going to go for a long B pick and then maybe even hit the showers out of desperation.
Definitely a recon dart and push down right under that. But Nerf is playing long range, so utilizing the Phantom to his advantage and spots all of them. He's like, I'm going to try to run away. I'm not going to try to shadow step because you know what happens when he does that. But Koala Noob and Inox coming out from the market, getting 3 kills of their own, and 1 more to go at the fountain. Still stays alive for now, but the spike has now been picked up, getting ready to move now towards the B side. It looks like it. Funny enough, as when they spotted 4 players at first, they still want to fight back, but they still are looking for a flawless round for Big Frames.
Yeah, I think SVL slipped all the way through the A site, but said, guys, I haven't cleared U-Haul. So there could be a lurker at short A. I like that they're playing this one real slow, taking their time, knowing that they can move around the map and regain together. Agility stuck between 3 different players is going to find the Omen now, and there's the headshot on Nerf. So that's a free gun, and the spike still isn't planted. Lots of time to regain here for Down Bad. Big Frames, though, still with the 2-man advantage.
Spike planted.
Well, they book it towards that B side, and that 2-man advantage is looking to be slimmed down here as Agility and also Xander are moving out towards that defender spawn. So that Phantom has been picked up, the Singularity here, the trade, but a big flash actually to support coming in from Inox. So the trade is actually available, and they're looking for the last kill. And Inox, some people have been saying that he had a terrible game or a bad game on that first one, but, you know, he's a Sentinel. He's doing what he needs to do as that support player, and look at him now, guys. You have to stop talking about that way. He's 5 kills, 0 deaths, and 3 assists. You cannot ask for anything better as an initiator to start.
Yeah, send me your screenshots of your great performance as Killjoy on Icebox. I'll give you a cookie. Inox 5-0. He's playing with confidence. He's giving a little bit of extra love to the dead bodies. He is feeling it. And what I loved about that last play was he saw the recon dart coming in. He just pushes. He knows the timing is going to reveal him right as he hits his headshot. Start of this round, though, it's what Down Bad needed. An opening pick from Nico is going to slow things down as the attack is going to try and pull up the flash. Nico hits a jumping Inox out of the air. It's all defense so far as Xander gets to the site with Spike down. SVL is in a world of hurt.
That's big paint shells, though. That's going to flush him out. Can he win the fight? Yes. And a second one with the spree. He turns this into a 1 versus 1. The thing is, though, you have the Brimstone ultimate. He jumps out after the paint shells and lands where it became a one-way smoke in favor of Zambi, and he connects with that. That was so close. You got to give it to him for that.
I mean, I counted the round over 10 seconds before those fights even happened. SVL just showcased him some stun power. He went off on the first map despite the loss. He top fragged in the lobby. Here he is opening up strong as the Rays nearly pulls off the 1v4 clutch.
So nice. And at the same time as, you know what, Puckett, of all these years that we've been casting, I never could get over the caster curse. You talk right about Inox, you talk right about anything or anybody, and the opposite happens. He looks for the entry frag, he gets opt by the offer on the jet side on the defense, and now with the recon guard from Agility, a big Hunter's Fury, and who to fall first? Unfortunately, it's my bro Inox. So he draws the spike at the same time. A 5 versus 4, a big fat paranoia from the attack, but they cannot capitalize on a push at that area just yet.
Oh, it's spray time through the wall. They got the nice tag from the camera. Xander trying to set up his Sova. Instead, Agility missing just wide left. A little bit of damage done to the Omen, though, and now they're going to be setting up behind the Brimstone ult. Orbital Strike will go down as soon as he hears the plant. And I thought he'd pull the cord. Not yet. They've got all 5 up, and they want to get eyes on sights. Instead, it's SVL and Koala doing damage. 2 down already.
How is that possible? Just the way that they're pushing through, they're winning the fights, but at the same time, he had a great angle from Nerf, and that's what I was gonna say. You need that orbital strike to come in right now. Just use all your ultimates, and that's the second one to come in. They have the Hunter's Fury, but it's getting pushed through the smoke, but a Shark Dart and a Showstopper of their own. Another 1 versus 1, and this time, SVL capitalizes with a 3rd kill into the round, and a 1 versus 1 comes into his favor.
SVL going enormous. Double digits, yes, please. Already has earned his ultimate twice. Cryo ready to pop with the Sova ult, and we're going to see Inox with the Rolling Thunder. They're probably going to go back to the A site here after multiple attempts over at B. On the defensive side, going back to the pistols here. It's Nico on top with the Jet. Has blades available. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get aggro.
Let's follow with the action, though, as Cryocellus is looking down towards that corner. He gets a first and second onto Nico and Zebi. Make that even a 3rd. A 5 versus 2 right now, as we don't even need the Rolling Thunder to try to clear out towards you. And pushing in towards that site, it's going to be Inox putting that plant down. Meanwhile, though, we also dash up towards the Heaven side. Nerf gets the last 2 kills on the flank. A perfect round here for Big Frames, just off the back of Cryocells. And usually, as a Sova, you want to try to use the Owl Drone to try to clear out areas and have players behind you. But this time, Crowcell says, SVL, you had enough fun. I want to join you in the double digits as well. And he just runs in and storms on a 3K.
And Nico, unfortunately, those blades are gone. So ultimate used, ultimate denied. We'll see what the defense can put together. Once again, a slow start for Down Bad as it is Big Frames up early, 6-1. Remember, they jumped out to that 8-4 advantage in the first half of the last map and ended up losing in double overtime. Cryo coming out the showers, but the kills have already been scored. A site has been stormed, and Big Frames is going to get that plant down. Now it's just time to back it up and play behind the ultimate here from Cryo.
Bucket, this has the potential to be a match that's going to last 35 minutes. This is night and day performance of what we saw from Big Frames on that previous semifinals when they got upset on this map. As they're moving into this one here, they change the pace. They're just putting the pedal onto the gas, and they're just running with it. They're steamrolling also over Down Bad's defense, and now they take the lead by 6 on a 7-1 scoreline.
It's been so fun to watch. Can I make a special request? Can we keep our eyes here on the Duelist? Koala Noob, again, is heating up. SBL has been on fire. Cryo's been doing his job. But I have a feeling the Duelists are going to be the game changers in this round. They're starting to feel it. The W key is on lock, and they know they're going up against pistols again. They're all fighting it. It feels like a deathmatch. They're just trying to pad the stats at this point.
Pretty much. And you already see it from the positioning. The Duelists, as you mentioned, Puckett, they're both heading up towards Hookah. So they're looking possibly for this Boombot, bounce off the wall, get into Hookah, get the dash in from Koala Noob, and just explode into the site. What do they have? Nothing really. They only have the paint shells and maybe another dash going into the B site from Jet if they want to save that for a little bit later. But they are not using any showstoppers. They're not using any orbital strikes. They're just going to continue to go for... Oh, sorry. They do have a Sova ult. So they're actually going to go for potentially maybe an Owl Drone or something like that, but it's still going to be Explosion from Breach going into the site to allow his teammates to get into B control.
As we got a bit of a tactical pause here, I want to ask you about Cryo because this is a guy who's been top 10 on the leaderboards. We mentioned the 18-year-old did it on Reyna most likely. That's where I saw most of his clips coming from November. He's been playing Sky. He's been playing Sova. What is the best agent you've seen out of this young man so far throughout the tournament?
So far, to see that he's just able to play so well on the leaderboards as a Duelist shows that Big Frames could be very deep in their map pool potential if they eventually want to go for a triple Duelist or maybe switch some players out. So far, I gotta say, this is probably the best Sova that I've seen in a while since like First Strike, right? We're talking about Hiko at this point, and we've had a small lull in the action into the player break, but Cryocells into 2021 is looking mad good as this Sova.
You're wondering what he was doing there? Well, they skipped the bomb, buddy. They just instantly used the Hunter's Fury to clear out Hookah. However, Bank needs nothing more than a Sheriff to do the damage, and he gets both picks. You're going to see it's going to be Jet down to about 25 HP, a 4v3 in favor of the defense. But once again, they're outgunned. All of those weapons, they're still quite a bit away. And there's some smokes between them and the defense, or the attackers, I should say.
Yeah, now you're just playing the time. You have Jet that's just around the corner on market because they sniff it out. They know that there's going to be somebody lurking around. And that is going to be in the form and shape of Xander as this Cypher, who he himself is holding back towards that cave, looking to flame towards the fountain. It might get missed on timing as Jet is making his way back. Koala Noob back into Hookah, where now Inox can get backstab. But a big recon dart, that's going to try to spot one opponent on that right side of the cubby. SVL puts a satchel charge, but where is the action? Where is that sniffing from Xander? He's trying to find it towards the market, and finally Koala Noob should be, no, they cross over each other. He actually wins that one. It's off camera. I'm sorry that I'm casting through a minimap, but that was crazy. I can only imagine how that happened, that they were just like back to back, like what the hell is going on? They turn around, it's a surprise showdown, but down bad on an eco are still able to get the 3-3 round.
And you saw Zambi with a little bit of a panic stem. That gave up his positioning and allowed SVL to hunt him down. But the rest of the squad just working around it for down bad. And once again, it all begins with the Sheriff headshots from Bancroft. He has been the rock for this team. When they're winning, he has had a crucial play at some point in the round. Keep your eyes on the Rays. After a big defense, he wants to get aggressive, but he's going to be running into both of the duelists on the other side for big frames.
And the two duelists is trying to take control here of this Hookah one more time. SVL saw that his boombot got stopped early, and they're going for the fault line for them to try to take control early, and it's going to be Bancroft. The key player that got the round for down bad on that previous round, the first one to fall, courtesy of SVL, saying, fool me once, but the second time, I'm able to take control of this Hookah.
Spike going to be collected as the rotation is down to 8, but there's still 3 defenders stacked here. As I say it, Zambi's going to be making his way back over to support his Sova on the B site. So now is go time if you're big frames. Let's see how they open it up. The big player to get by here, it's the Cypher. Xander is lurking in the showers and already making his impact felt. Takes down Cryo to even things up.
Oh, that's a big and nasty trapwire, but they cannot capitalize on it from the U-Haul. Now they're pushing out towards Showers, but the crossfire is still there from Heaven and also Shower itself. So it's a 3 versus 2. Koala Noob trying to even up the tally. He gets 1 kill as they both take the teleporter and move into the B site. So they'll get a plant. Will this plant allow a showstopper to come out too for Raze? And it's going to be the case. So this is a great position now for the last 2 players of Big Frames to try to clutch this versus the 3 rotating from the spawn side. And it's Koala Noob with the first op shot. The knives onto Zambi, and it leaves it down to agility. Well, he's low on agility because he's low on HP as well. Reloading the shot, showstopper to come out. It does not connect. He's still spraying, but it's not looking good for him to try to take this retake. It's such a well-played round here for Big Frames as SVL collects the last kill.
Yeah, Agility tried to stop that plant, went for the lineup with the shock arrows. Instead, they plant just a little bit more to the right, dodges that damage, allows the plant, and then sets up Big Frames for a big comeback in a round that I thought they were guaranteed to lose. Nice defensive stand at Showers by Xander, but quick thinking to hit that port and take the advantage on the empty site at B. SVL continues to impress throughout this finals here for Big Frames. They're looking good again, 8-2 this time on the attack. They have been so precise, especially in the early opening 6 rounds.
Grounded.
And here is the first op duel between Koala Noob and Nico, as Koala Noob is going to take it. And look at that. Storm through, hold W, flash through, fault line, get into the site, get the plant. It seems as though there's no answer for down bad with the aggression that Big Frames has in this first half. And look at that. We're even pushing through to spawn. So that's going to be SVL making his way there. He's going to try to cut rotations. He hears the rotation coming back on the defender side, so they're trying to save their weapon. And he might be able to get this backstab on to Bancroft up towards the Heaven, and he does so.
SVL just working behind Inox's utility on that breach. They've been setting them up time and time again. It's not just raw fragging power out of the Rays. He is getting so much help.
Oof.
And they are converting it into kills. Koala, free reign with the operator, taking down Xander, and Agility knows, well, this round's over. I'm just going to try and keep my armor at this point, let alone the Vandal.
Nerf is around the corner, though, and he's looking at the wrong angle. This could be a bad timing. What a flick. What a flick to stay alive. But that's going to cost him a lot of money for the shields into the last round. So this could be a potential, especially for the fact that, yeah, see, so he buys the shield. He might not be able to drop an SMG for any of his teammates, and Xander is going to be stuck on a very low SMG buy as well. This is actually very good for the attacker side of Big Frames. And sorry, it looks like we did get a Bulldog at least for Xander, but still, overall, a very low buy bucket.
Yeah, I mean, they've been poor this whole half. You can just see it.
Yeah.
Give up the first 4 rounds, win the 5th, give up 3 more. They have been bullied. SVL, crucial on the entries. Koala pushing them over with the operator late in the game, and it's been Inox setting up so many of these plays with the fault lines, with the flashes. Once again, he will try and lead the charge with some flashes into the octagon. Rockets coming flying, though, as Bank is going to trade it out. Inox will connect with the operator to make it a 4 versus 4.
Well done so far in a big flash. They're going to try to take down Xander, an aftershock that Xander is not going to be affected by, so he might still have the element of surprise. But surprise, everybody's falling back here towards A. He's going to have to maybe take the teleporter while we're trying to lurk out towards the A side. There's still one defender out there, and it's going to be Zambi. And that's going to be a round where Zambi had the orbital strike and couldn't use it. So Xander on a 3 versus 1. We're looking at a 10-2 bucket.
Yeah, this is, well, we've seen an 11-1. That was from Down Bad on their first map of the semifinals. This is the most brutal half we have seen in the grand finals. After an 8-4 start for Big Frames in a game they lost, they bounce right back. Should take this one 10-2, and that will be the score as we see another headshot landed by Nerf. The old man on the team, a man with a 3-0 record in mixed martial arts. What can he do?
And when you're looking at it, look at the scoreboard, Puckett. Bancroft is at 6-12. Zambi is at 4-11 out of 12 rounds played. And the reason why I'm saying that is I want to underline the fact that they weren't giving Bancroft and Zambi any chances to build their ultimates. I think Bancroft only had 2 showstoppers and Zambi only had 2 orbital strikes, and Zambi was only able to use 1 of them in that half. That means that you have to commend how Big Frames were able to control this attacker side so well to not allow any map control or any momentum to come back in the favor of Down Bad.
There's just so many moments where it was rounds that Down Bad should have won. They had the man advantage. They had the positioning advantage, and somehow Big Frames pulled it out. Everyone connecting on their shots. Again, Inox has been a game changer. Light and I guess night and day difference in his breach play, at least with the follow-ups, as he is scoring assist after assist. Now, though, it's this man. Bancroft was the entry fragger on Sage. There's no healer. He can't bring himself back to full health, but he can start to pop, as he showed you in the previous rounds with the Sheriff. Now trying to get it done with the Frenzy as he leads the charge into B.
This is huge, too. For not getting any information at all, they were able to bait out a boom bot and paint shells, which means if they're trying to explode into the B site, they don't really have much for Down Bad. So that's why you see an early rotation coming in from Sova over towards that east side for Big Frames, because they have the idea that the rush is coming back towards the A side, and Nerf gets the first frag onto Bancroft. So that is going to be the huge tell, being the first one to use utilities and die first towards A. Everybody's going to get a drop towards short. 1 more to go at triple. They're closing in on him, and look at that. A flawless round. 3 guys so low, but they still get a flawless, Chris.
Oh, man, that's just, it's going to kill your soul. We lost another pistol. Another pistol. What's worse, none of us got any bonus. You don't get any extra money for those eliminations because they didn't happen. Dropping them to 10 HP is basically an empty victory for anyone who shot it. And more importantly, you're probably now frustrated at your teammate. Guys, how are we not cleaning these up? Land your headshots, guys. You're going up against full armor, all Spectres. They are looking to close this one out for Big Frames. 2 rounds away from answering back after giving up the OT loss.
A stinger rush, a big flashpoint, a double peek from Cryocells and from Inox. They get the first blood like shark in the water. They're still hunting down for the second prey, and it's going to be agility keeping things alive with Zambi as they trade it back and turn things over on a 1-minute advantage for Down Bad. But both of them are low on HP as they're trying to get into the site. Koala Noob inside the site himself, and Nerfa as well. They're the anchors, and they hold the ship.
I thought things were going to go awry. I thought, uh-oh, B is now giving up. They double push down B long. Nope, all good. We got nerfed. We got Koala. When your top 2 go down, let's just bring out 2 more. 15 kills for Koala, 15 on Cryo, 16 for SVL, and Nerf now into double digits after his 2K round. Inox sitting on 11 assists. That's about the same total for the entire squad on Down Bad.
I was about to say agility. Thankfully, he got a kill there earlier on with Zambi too, because we were all at 6 across the board and Zambi was at 4. Now we're pretty much even across the board, where it's not necessarily an underperformance in my opinion from Down Bad. It's just Big Frames has been so good with the aggression that they have. And speaking of aggression, we're still continuing that from the defender side from Big Frames at this point, and they get the first blood from SVL. He gets traded out, but it's still information that there's 2 players heading in towards showers. So with 2 players playing towards triple and also towards you, they were in a perfect crossfire to hold down this push.
Bank getting the stim bonus from his teammate, pushes through and is going to find Nerf. Now he's got the jet tagged up. Will he be able to finish Koala here? Nice fall line is going to slow him down, and Bank is going to be pinching. But Down Bad, they have lost the reinforcements, and Bancroft is going to be in trouble.
One enemy
So far,
remaining.
he's trying to get out of it, and Zambi's there to support. So they turned it around, and Inox,
One enemy remaining.
last one to go. First and a second spray. Take it
Defenders
back,
win.
everybody in the chat. It's gonna be Big Frames winning the second map, 13-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a series we have.
Very good in this map to. Depending where you're putting the traps for Cypher, it could be as good for anchors or as good for playing retakes. For example, a trap wire towards mid, play a passive B side, especially on pistol rounds, you want to try to get that early information so you can play that retake. So I kind of like the fact that you still have a Cypher being played by Inox instead of a Killjoy. But this round, though, for the attacker side, as it seems to be taken for the red team of Big Frames, if I'm not mistaken, it is looking to work towards this C side.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Koala Noob on the Reyna. That'll be fun to watch. But on the other side for Down Bad, the Phoenix. Bancroft was a monster on this map in the semifinals. He was earning his run back every 3 rounds. What is he going to do here in the pistol round? Will he be the king once again? First blood going to the man who's been on top of the leaderboard. SVL opening things up as Nerf follows it up. It's already 3 down. A 3 versus 2 as Bancroft will try and play hero as he lines up back-to-back ones with the frenzy.
Every time you say that, Chris, I have it in my head.
Planted.
I need a hero. Hopefully we don't get DMCA'd for that, especially when I'm off tune. But Bancroft,
It's
he leads
very
back
close.
up here with the hot hands. And he's trying to get the frag here towards long C. He cannot connect. It's a 2 versus 2, and they have a spike planet, not really for them. It's for the person on the right side, as you can see from the POV of
One
Bancroft,
enemy
but they
remaining.
have to go for a double swing, and it pays off. They're pushing down. Now we have the pressure onto Silva just around the corner, and Cryocells cannot get it. The 2 players alive here, and the 2 key players right now for Down Bad are able to come back and get the pistol. Finally, a pistol in their favor.
That was nutty. A 3v2 comeback. Big Frames was just flowing off the momentum. They tried to flank, but Bancroft too wise to it. Catches the rotation from Inox and pops him in the mouth. Now you've got the cash. You finally won a pistol round here in the grand finals. Well done, Down Bad. Now let's see what you can do in round 2. A judge coming out from Nico, who is the bottom fragger of everyone in the lobby. He's looking for a big bounce back game.
Yeah, and he's using that in the garage, and I like the spawn. Actually, it could be very deadly from the way that you play it, especially against an anti-eco. But the thing is that they don't know is that we actually do have a force buy of SMGs for Big Frames, and they're looking to move towards sewers and also a split on long A. Thing is, though, Bancroft has a curveball, and he has his teammate as Zambi on the top of the double boxes on a big, deadly crossfire. This could be bad news now for Cryocells and company. There's that flash, the drive-by from Bancroft. Pop, pop, pop. Cryocells falls.
Everyone already knows you can run and shoot in Valorant. Well, Bancroft shows you how to do it perfectly with the help of his Omen. Already on 3K, looking for the fourth. The Zambias, of course, kind of clean things up. They read that A push, and they shut it down. Big Frames in a hole when it comes to the economy. It's time to buy up with your Xander. The rest of the team still working with their round 2 guns, as it's going to be a double stinger in action already, though. They'll run it back, and they're going to give him the Vandal. Look for Bancroft to continue to pad the stats here.
Oh, yeah. And from Bancroft's position, there's potential that he wants to get information from that B main. But playing on that back, I think he wants to play contact first and not really try to go for that rush early, as he knows that it's going to be an eco anyways. So it might be something that he saves into the next round where you have that aggressive push that you're calling about here, Bucket. But at least at this point, he was spotted. His shield got taken down to 13. He's at 90 HP. But he's not under any big threat right now to force that run it back out. Meanwhile, though, for Big Frames, they are looking for the split towards the A side. Smoke's pretty default towards Heaven. Not a second one going in towards Spawn. Camera has been broken, and we are just trying to move into the site. Good awareness from Koala Noob to actually take down that trapwire to not allow for the Cypher Xander to go for a spray through the smoke.
All right, you ready for this? I'm expecting a Paranoia to come in from Zambi, a little hero move from the Phoenix. Is that the game plan? Spikes down, hot hands to lead the charge. Instead, they're going to let the Jet lead the way with the Judge, and instead it's SVL on the opposite side. Nico will convert 2, though. Smokes and a half defuse. They forced him off the site. The spam is there. Can Big Frames pull this off?
One enemy remaining.
He doesn't look like it. The last one to go from the long side. And that's it. Zambi gets the last kill. Cryocells at least is able to take down Nico off the defuse. And with this half buy that they got and utilizing a showstopper, good enough to get the plant down and get the economy moving into this one here. But I thought that maybe the showstopper from SVL could have potentially connected to a second one, as they were pretty close towards the spawn. So thankfully for Bancroft and company, only one fell.
It's nice to be a Jet in Nico's shoes right there. You just slide underneath the rocket, pop 2 nerds with your shotgun, and move on in life. Rest of your team, they can sort that stuff out later. Down bad, up early, a nice bounce back from both teams after losing the previous game. They have taken control as they follow it up.
Yeah.
Bancroft, again, one of the key players to watch here for down bad. On the other side, SVL on that raise has been a stud, averaging over 300 ACS.
Careful now.
That is so good, actually.
Running back,
just a boom bot.
here.
Exactly. Just from a boom bot of how much time has been wasted here, Bucket, they were able to cancel that out and even get an entry kill on to Xander. So the first blood happening, I think that was towards Long, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you see the body right in the POV of Bancroft as he's trying to move up on the staircase. Now that information as Nerf has fallen, he says, okay, there's 2 towards Long. Maybe try to gamble it towards C. But the thing is, it's a double man setup towards C as well, and they have no smokes to cover the site into C. Zambi traded off by Inox as SVL gets the wall bang onto Agility, as they'll be able to move in and get the plant for Long.
Shout out to Cryo for giving away the position with the recon arrow. All of a sudden, it's Bancroft last man standing. It's got 2 curveballs and a flame wall. You're expecting him down long. See, that's where Big Frames always hangs out. Bank isn't even going to get an opportunity, though, as Inox peeks and gets the 3rd kill with the Cypher. Nice takedown long C after waiting down the ultimate at A. They only dropped 2 players. And Nico no longer with an operator in his hand. That is the danger over at A-Long from down bad.
Yeah, you're happy there at that point for the attacker set as you're rushing into the C side that I don't think Zambi had any chance to pull out the Paranoia to get thrown out. So good a move on them to run through the smoke and make sure that they capitalize on switching through abilities, switching through weapons, and catch Zambi off guard. Zambi at least was able to get 1 kill before, but that early trade was the key round there for Big Frames to get into the C side. That round, you saw an early push through a dark cover that was thrown towards the bottom of the C side, and that foils the plans of what Down Bat was trying to do. You just saw Nico dash back towards that C side, and he holds back towards the garage.
And of course, if you were watching the Sova, you noticed he just unlocked the Hunter's Fury. Big Frame's going to try and set up a push behind the ultimates potentially here in this round. Already Owl Drone used by the attackers. Agility on defense, just checking mid real quick. Gets the call. They're making noise at C, and here it comes. Hunter's Fury trying to lead the way tags up his teammates, but doesn't do too much damage, and a huge paranoia is going to slow all of that action down. Zambi holding his ground at C.
Exactly, two guys knocked by that paranoia, and as they're trying to run back after, as soon as they're able to get vision again, it's just a bunch of spray through the smoke, and two of them fall. And with that spike being dropped right at the corner of the garage, I was gonna say it could be game over right here, but Cryocells, he's not done yet. He's clutched it before, and he's been an early fragger for Big Frames before. Let's see if he could do it again. Recon dart towards the top of the wall. That is not going to spot anybody yet, but he gets a shock dart, but they're all very healthy, at least for down bad. That's not going to do much, and with 17 seconds left on the clock, you could definitely tell here that Big Frames will try to save the weapon into the next round. A valiant attempt to get the 2 first kills, though, but after that, a much smarter play for down bad to not overcommit after losing its first 2 players early.
Yeah, that paranoia is a little bit expensive these days, but it is still devastating. You try and push down C long, he hits you with that thing, all of your plans out the window. Didn't do enough damage from the ultimate from Cryo, and a complete shutdown on C long as down bad Zambi is now going to be looking primed to continue his reign of C. Bancroft has been the player roaming around the map on the Phoenix. Nico looking to see what he can do on Jet. On the other side, for the attackers, you're running up against the opponents with a Bucky in the hands of Nerfed, and that tells me you're probably going to want to go up A short here. We'll see if they lean towards A early on.
Yeah. Right now, it's pressure air towards that A long for Bancroft at least, but as he's smoked out, they won't get that much information. So very nicely done by just one single utility. By throwing a smoke towards long A, you're baiting out the owl drone from Sova towards the A side, which means that's one less utility for down bad to try to play a retake into either of these sites that Big Frame's going to try to get into. And so far, it seems to be towards B. Koala Noob, unfortunately, cannot win that fight versus Nico as he gets dropped. At least Nico, I thought he was going to be low on HP, but look at him. He's at 87 health, 24 armor, and that was a clean fight for him to win.
Good dart coming in from Agility is going to call out the location of the attackers, and Xander is going to find kills with the help of his Jet. Defense holding strong. Bancroft just spraying and praying, and this spike has been shut down on the ground, and they're going hunting. Last man standing is Cryo once again. He kept his gun the previous round. This time, no luck, as Zambi will find him.
Yeah, definitely. With them beating out the owl drone was really good, but trying to get into B, you really wanted to count on Koala Noob to try to get an entry. And as much as we're seeing how dominant he's been on that second map, and even very helpful in that first, that gas, starting to gas out a little bit here. Currently 06 getting 4 assists. So currently no first bloods, but doing as much damage as he can, at least in terms of support as Arena. You want a little bit more here from Koala Noob. I think he's just trying to find his footing right now to try to see how down bad is currently playing the defender side. And I think he has to act very soon because you're still in a position where you don't have an operator in the hands of the defender's Jet, which means that Nico not having that op, playing with the judge early in the round, keeping the economy low, could still give a chance here for Koala Noob to get back into this game.
I mean, we've seen so many different looks from Big Frames, but I feel this is the first time we've seen him off of the Jet all tournament. So, Koala Noob trying to switch it up with the Reina. No success, as you pointed out, but maybe it's just early in the game. Early in the best of 5 grand finals, we should remind everybody. It was all best of 1s up to today. Semifinals were best of 3s. With the spike planted, we're going to see, can Big Frames answer back here in Game 3 after falling behind early?
Already going with the defuse, but a great shock dart. Great pulse plant positioning, finally paying off here for Big Frames. Looking for a flawless, and they will get it off the back of whom? Somehow, Cryocells with the stinger of all guns gets a 4K.
Thank you for the Vandals. We'll take those. Stinger's good for me, says Cryo. I still got the ultimate. Last time he had the ult, they tried to force it down C. This time, it looks like they may just be looking for a pick, and he will upgrade to the Phantom, putting that Stinger on the ground. It's all rifles across the board, 4 ults against 2, and we'll see what the defense has in mind after finally being put on their back foot. Nico, is he going to go for the early picks in Garage? He's been bouncing around between Garage and B, and he has been devastating when they let him heat up on grass.
This is the first time that Nico's playing this position, so if they're trying to take a Raj right now for big frames, they could be punished for it too. But looking at it so far, you're trying to utilize Raze, trying to bait out Cypher's abilities towards the A side, and also potentially put a boom bot into the site to see where that opponent could be. And as they force or push out on his mid side, oh, Koala Noob, is he going to get it? He gets spotted first. He doesn't get the kill. Bancroft is forced to fall back on top of that, but thankfully, could have been an off timing that could have been bad for Koala Noob. And now Bancroft decides to fall back, and we're back in a stalemate with 54 seconds left on the clock.
Shout out to Observer getting to Bancroft right as he finds Koala on the other side. Both players just backing down, taking their time. Xander, meanwhile, with a camera and one cage, has stalled out everyone at long A. The Cypher has scared them. They think, though, the action is at C, and you can see it is all going to come down to Xander on the Cypher. He was a monster earlier, getting multi-kill after multi-kill on this site. Can he do it once again, this time from above? SVL is going to be spamming as the spike goes down. Good patience being shown so far by Down Bad. Wait until all 5 are ready to pounce.
Yeah, and from the shadows came out Nerf into hell. So I like how SVL did it. Despite them slowed down from a cage and a camera, it's still going to be them pushing through. And as they try to take the retake for Down Bad, it's just Zambi on his own on a 3 versus 1. Gets darted on top of that from Cypher's camera. So that means that Inox spots him, but Zambi makes it a 3K, a little bit expensive, but SVL still capitalizes on the round for big frames. And what I was trying to say here, Chris, was the fact that, yes, it was slowed down a bit on how we play the defense for Xander, but just having SVL walk into the site and throw a satchel charge onto default basically covers and cancels any type of utility that he has set up here for Xander towards A side.
Right.
He who has been playing towards a retake too, right? So it allows for these plans to happen for the attackers.
I think that was just a rough read. They thought it was going down at C for Down Bad, and then by the time they got to the site on A, spike was planted. Everyone on the attacking side set up in those power positions. Finally, money starting to turn the way of big frames. They've got the ultimate still to work with from their Sova as well as the Cypher. Question is, will Inox get close enough to find a body to throw his hat on?
See, that's going to be the case, but the run it back, you heard it. It's being canceled. So at the same time, you saw the Owl drone come out towards that window. It hasn't spotted anybody either on that defense. But big frames in a position where they could try to open up towards the seaside. And that is because you have cryo cells with the Hunter's Fury ready. Maybe a recon dart heading into the site could clear out an ultimate into the spawn side to allow big frames to get into the site here. But the thing is, for Xander, this time switching over his kit towards the A side, there's that recon dart. He's going to shoot it out. He got spotted. This could be the Hunter's Fury to try to push him out, but no, they're just going to decide to run into this side instead. So you got to give it to big frames. So far, they've been very good in terms of trying to figure out where Cypher is playing, and when they do, they know that they're playing the retake. So they don't waste that many utilities or that many ultimates getting into the site. So that allows now big frames to get a plant, get 3 kills on top of that, and now we have a 4-on-3 situation. Agility towards the back of the platform. Looks like they want to go for this. Agility also has a Hunter's Fury, but still gets the first kill through the smoke onto Nerf. Recon dart towards that back. Shock darts from cryo cells. Agility to walk down, but it's going to be Koala Noob to greet him. And Koala Noob, who I said has been silent, finally puts one onto the board. We have a 5-4 scoreline, and then when I said 1, make that even 3. We didn't get to see it a little bit, but it's Koala Noob starting to warm up, and things could definitely get dangerous now for the defender side of
Koala fans are saying, yo, bro, I got assists too, man. I'm just not finishing the kills. My teammates are stealing them. Koala's putting in work. The whole team is starting to get the mojo flowing once again. That's 3 straight rounds. They're going to try and finish this one 7-5. Can they go with the clean sweep with the remaining 3 rounds? It's time to put the ults to use as Inox. Great job on the Cypher last time. Got the cages, covered the plant. Scored 2 of his own kills. Cryo is going to be clearing the site. Didn't see the Omen tucked away in the corner, though. But the real plan looks to be up the gut here. Will be able to be scored as Big Frames is pushing up heavy up the grass.
The Thing is,
Inox with
Bancroft
first
is in the
blood
window.
again.
Somehow he was able to flank. It's crazy.
Last player standing.
So yeah, Puckett. At that point, somebody did not look towards the long A, and they still got a backstab from Bancroft. And somehow, Cryocells is at A side getting ready to plant. Yes, they got the round no matter what, but what I'm trying to say is, how the hell did Bancroft get through, get a flank on window? they still get the trade, but somebody made it through window from A side, and Cryocells still made it to A with the spike. That could have been dangerous.
You know, just a little rough timing there. Fortunately, it's just a stinger backstabbing you, not a real gun. Now you got the real guns out,
True.
though, and Nico's got the big boy toy, the jet with the operator. That's when we see Nico at his finest. He's been pretty quiet as the duelist for down bad. This would be an important time to step in, and he's looking for the mid action. We've seen it quite a bit from Big Frames. They'll pressure down C, or they'll come up mid, and this time it's Bancroft with first blood on Inox from the previous round.
And now Koala Noob, like I said, is warming up. He gets the first blood into this round, at least for Big Frames, as they take over the C side. And you heard the Hunter Security come back from down bad. That doesn't cancel any plant. We just hit around the corner for the whole time. Now we get the plant, and Koala Noob is looking for the backstab. In a great position at this double stack inside the garage. Here's the footsteps. Easy kill onto Bancroft. Does not hear the second one. Does not know. But now he comes out from the corner. He goes for the dismiss, so he gets a better angle. It's the off shot. A third kill. Make that a hat trick. It's two players. Last two rotating from the spawn side. He aims down the sight for the long range battle, and he loses it versus Xander. So now with the 2 versus 2, the Hunter's Fury, that's a halfway at least. They at least wanted to stick to the halfway. And that allows a 1 versus 1. A dink through the box from both sides. And it's going to still be... Actually, there was no dink onto Nerf. It's Nerf that got the dink through the box and capitalizes with the kill in the end. And just like that, with 5 rounds in a row here, Chris, we have a lead for Big Frames.
Anyone watch Descent? We know Nerf doesn't lose 1v1s. 1v2's no big deal. He can dance with that Omen as the last man standing, especially after the spike has been planted. It's been 5 in a row, as you mentioned. Looking for number 6. That 7-5 lead as an attacker is going to make you feel great on the defensive end, as they are looking to take 2 games back to back. Big Frames dominant on Vine. Slow start to this one, but heating up, and they've got Nerfed leading the way with the smokes. Everyone's pushing up A, and there's a camera now covered. They're going to hear the cage, but no big deal. Defense has to fully rotate as everyone is running across the map from different angles.
Yeah, and you still have a showstopper from Raze. There you go. It gets popped out as VL doesn't see anybody towards that back. And we're trying to get her. You know, you saw that orb come out because it was a run it back for information from Bancroft, but it got canceled out. Now it's a trade after trade. And to sum it up, we have a 3 versus 3. Lear towards the air. Koala Noob trying to push towards the spawn. Coming head to head against the Jet on the other side. And it's going to be Nico that stays alive. Now that means they know the last 2 players could be potentially up towards heaven, at least for 1. And it's going to be the one of heaven that gets the first kill onto Inox. So a 1-minute advantage for Big Frames. Dropping down from Bancroft. He gets a little bit of fall damage. And Cryosol capitalizes on the first kill. They couldn't trade it out. Koala Noob gets the second one. They're looking to win the half 7-5 as Nico moves in. Goes for the spray through the smoke for the first kill. Cannot get the second. And now the shock darts, that lands the first. But now he's halfway off the spike. Nico, if only he stuck he wanted, but he doesn't know. And now Nico goes for the full defuse, or for a tap, where Cryocells thought it was a full defuse. And we do get the clutch in the end from Nico. And we are tied 6-6.
I can't believe it went down like that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from GoPuff before beginning side number 2.
Back here for the second half. Thank you, GoPuff, for being one of the main sponsors here of the WSOE Online 5 for Valorant. I'm Ventsilly. Joined with me is Puckett as we are into this third map. Tied even in this series, 1-1 in this best out of 5. We now have switched roles. Big Frames taking the defender side as they were looking to win that first half 7-5. A nice clutch came in from their Jet, looking to even things up for down bad, as now that Jet being Nico and company will try to look for some aggression and control towards short A.
Yeah, Nico already tagged up. We're going to see what the attackers can do, though, on the A side. He will find the first blood. Big Frames trying to rotate through the attacker spawn, and it's going to be SVL as well as Nerf now chiming in. SVL just waiting for the pinch or making a move. Bancroft versus SVL, the battle we've been looking forward to all matchup continues, and it's SVL and crew taking the first pistol round here of the second half. Are we going to OT again? These two teams are going back and forth all night.
Puckhead, my heart is ready, but I don't know if my voice is. But I'm down for it. We're going to tunnel through this. We're going to power through this because this has been an exciting grand final so far. And I like the fact from that previous pistol round, you saw how aggressive they were on that sewers, but little did they know there, by not taking any control towards long, that SVL from Big Frames made his way all the way up towards that long angle on that lobby and went for a fast flank, which shows now with the frenzy how much it melts people on that mid-close range, how Big Frames were able to win that pistol round. So at least this time, Puckett, it's been even that both teams have won pistols on their own, and it has not been a one-sided affair. So that means that technically, yes, we will see a close game in the second half in this third map.
Nerf's got a bigger gun in the garage as Nico is going to be dropped. Nice paranoia to slow down this push, but Bancroft says, I'm not afraid. Charging right in with the stinger in hand. He's going to go on the long flank, leading the way with the curveball. Meanwhile, everyone else stacked up, trying to push through this garage alley. Nerf, teleport death number 12 as Inox does the dirty work and finishes off the round with the help of SVL. Got messy there for a moment, but the Omen's paranoia is really what set them up for success. That was a light buy coming in from the attackers, as it's going to be down bad, looking for some sheriff picks going into the third round of the second half. Once again, it's going to be a back and forth game, with this one currently tilting in favor of the squad coming from the lower bracket Big Frames.
Yeah, and like you said, even though it was a misstep there from the shadow step from Nerf, it was good enough to bait out the opponents rushing out towards that C garage, where they still had a crossfire from Big Frames inside the back of the C-side platform and land those kills. And no matter what, because it was a force buy for down bad in that previous round, looking at this one, they have to be on an eco that Bancroft is going to say, look, an eco doesn't matter. I have a sheriff. Now I upgrade to a Spectre. And that's what I was trying to say. It's still a bonus round for Big Frames. So them losing that round, they could still win here with the SMGs versus the pistols.
I think we're always seeing a buy in that second round. That's been the meta of this tournament, at least. SVL getting aggressive in the window, chimes in with 3. Can he make it 4? Battle versus Nico, and he's going to collect it before Agility's cuts him down. 2 picks here from down bad, but that might be it, as Agility can see on the minimap. He is going to be swarmed. Another headshot from the Sheriff could make this doable. 1 versus 2 in 47 seconds, and he has the spike. Big Frames, you can see just backing up, saying, go ahead, man. Plant wherever you want. We'll try and go for the retake.
You just saw it. It was basically Nerf and Krauser said, okay, step back, step back, step back. Get out of the way. We're trying to get back into garage, because so far, every time you've had these 1 versus 1 for Agility, he's landing that flake with the headshot with the Sheriff. So thankfully here for down bad, they've gone 3 kills. They're on the Sheriff with no, I don't know if they bought armor at this point, but getting those 3 kills and also potentially getting a plant towards C side, mission successful for the attacker side. We're just making sure that the garage is clear so we can make sure that it's going to be a safe plant for Agility. So now the retake's going to happen for the rest of the 2 players. Hearing nothing towards the A side, hearing nothing towards B, they know now it's at the C side plant.
Agility trying to be the ninja. He's got the knife out. They never hear him.
This is working.
Spike's getting defused, though. You're running out of time, and you only got 1 shock dart. Have to make the headshots land, and it's not going to happen in time. 3 kills for Agility, but SVL, he is thanking his good graces here that the rest of the team didn't fold after his 4K.
Yeah, and look at it. Nerf, because he lost that SMG on that second round and also died into the third, has no money to work with onto this 4th round, which means that Cryocells has to drop him a weapon. But Cryocell apparently only drops him a stinger instead of going for a rifle.
Cheap friend,
I was
man.
going to say that. Yeah, exactly. Well, who are you?
He's the guy who takes you to McDonald's and gets you a small fry.
Exactly. I'll just have a Happy Meal for my friend and give him the small little orange juice or apple juice in that little cup. In 3 sips, it's over. And they're like, hey, I took you out for a McDonald's, now you owe me a big favor. That's the type of friend Krausel's is. That said, though, we're going into this round. It's going to be an op from the defender side as it whiffed across towards the sewers. But Inox still gets the first kill onto Bancroft as Nico and the rest of the crew of Down Bad were thinking of going towards Long C, but it goes back towards this garage control.
I think that was a little greedy orb grab there. Inox just peeks and is able to punish.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see Down Bad down a player. Try and force their way up the gut. Nico, not as loud as he was in the semifinal, and now he's giving away his position. Dart is going to show where the Omen's at, and Zambi is there to clean it up. Spike going into the corner, planting that as deep as possible for his teammates in the window who are watching the flank, and they're going to get the call. You know what? Too many players at B. Let's back this one out. But doing that, you are leaving your teammates in a tricky position. Cypher stuck in a corner. Good luck, Xander.
Yeah, if anything, if they don't peek out towards this mid B, Xander could become the flanker. And you see him turning around, but Quasel sees him and he takes him down. Now they know the action's coming towards the A side. The off shot rang and missed from Koala Noob. He does connect onto Zambi, gets immediately traded out. But even then, no time to spike the plant. He gets picked off from the rotation of the defender spawn. And now Big Frames, I was going to say it's going to be a close game here in the second half because they won both of their pistols, but momentum continues now for Big Frames as it's looking to continue to be a one-sided affair on their defender side.
You know, we need to start hiring like interns and statisticians to just keep track of how many paranoias Nerfed is hitting. I know it doesn't show in the stats. He's only got 5 assists. But this man is blinding people day and night. He is doing so much work on that Omen. Even though he falls first, he is slowing down these pushes from Down Bad. And as you saw in that last round, they simply panicked on the rush over to A.
Oh yeah, and this is where I have to give a shout out to Riot because I remember when the guys were casting, we were on the analyst desk, they actually had a statistician. Yeah, you know, it's late. I can't find my words anymore. The guy that does stats, right? He was actually hand counting the amount of shock darts that Hiko was actually hitting, how many that Cutler was hitting at the same time too. It was actually pretty funny that they don't have that yet, but it's nice that they still have people on board to just watch the game and count them manually. Maybe we could ask chat to do it at the same time.
Yeah, chat, you got our back, right? We could barely get you to hit the like button, but you did it, and now there's $1,000 more up for grabs. Now, go hit that retweet button. 1,000 retweets, we'll unlock another 1,000. Honestly, though, it's been so great to see all the support over the night. Thank you for joining us. We are showcasing some up-and-coming players who have been making their names heard and felt in the ranked games, now trying to do it in a competitive format. Shout out to WSOE getting behind Valorant with a $10,000, now $11,000 event.
Yeah, you guys and girls are the unsung heroes. People in the chat on Twitch, thank you so much for your support and all the likes you guys have put out. And we are able to give the $1,000 extra to the winner of this series. Is it going to be Down Bad? Is it going to be Big Frames? So far, it's looking to be Big Frames to try to get this third map as they take the lead 10-6. They've lost on Icebox in overtime. They've dominated Down Bad on the second map on Bind. And now Big Frames look to seal the deal early if they can by taking down the first player as Bancroft, the key player for them on the attacker side, first to fall.
Yeah, and remember when I was talking about that Nerf guy with his paranoias? There's another one that sets up that first blood. Excellent execution. They get the peak immediately following the paranoia. I'm with you, man. I started my day at 11 a.m. Eastern on a Tuesday. It is now Wednesday here on the East Coast. Inox is going to fall here as the A site has opened up. Down Bad flooding in, but 2 players already tagged deep.
Exactly, and that's pinging out. The spike is attempted to go down for agility, only at 11 HP, but the paint shells raining from above blows him to bits as Nerf capitalizes on another frag as Koala Noob continues to push in. No chance right now for Down Bad to even get the spike down, let alone get positioning off any pulse plants or gain any site control. Very well done for the defender side of Big Frames to continue to shut things down, and it's again Cryo Cells on the top of the board and continues on the top of the board since the beginning of this map. So far, Puckett, every single one of these players have had their time to shine.
Absolutely. We have seen just ups and downs across the board in the matchups, including the semifinals. Everyone taking their turn to show up for the team. Cryo, he's got the advantage as the Sova, right? You get to be the third man onto the site, do some of the cleanup work. Here, though, he's got to be the first line of defense as 5 players are storming up long C. Instead, he's just going to back up, pop the Hunter's Fury. A little bit of a duel against the opposing Sova. Goes up and over and finds agility, but Nico is there to trade it out. Site controlled currently by Down Bad. It's going to be a retake now for Big Frames.
It was Lord of the Rings happening there. Both Sovas going with their Hunter's Fury, attacking each other, and it's still going to be Big Frames that takes the upper hand with a one-man lead. Thankfully to SVL with that kill on to the Omen falling down. SVL with that flank looking for a second one, but it's Nico with the drive-by and even things up and even give them a 1-minute advantage. Now on a 2 versus 2, make that a 2 versus 1 through the smoke. Xander sprays both Nerf and Inox, and you think that was going to happen. He probably got the spike pinged when his smokes came out, and he was able to clutch it here for the attacker side of Zambi and company here of Down Bad, trying to claw back and catch up in this game. So after 5 rounds lost in a row here for Down Bad, they are finally putting one onto the board in the second half.
Want to say shout out to everyone watching online on TikTok. Shout out to the production team for putting the show on TikTok live. I didn't even know you could live stream on TikTok before tonight's show, but we've got all kinds of awesome fans tuning in. Closet Nerd, both on TikTok and in our Twitch chat tonight. Love to see it. Big Frames 2 rounds away from taking their second game in the best of 5, but it's Down Bad trying to answer back, and it's this man, their MVP all evening. Put up 30 kills on this map in the semifinals. So far in this game 3, a little bit quieter, but there's never a moment too late for Bancroft to heat up. Keep your eyes on the Phoenix as he looks to dig deep and pull his team back in this one. On the other side, it's going to be a nice defensive setup. They've got a player on each site with the double stack on A. Where's the spike going? Regardless of where they go, they'll be ready to react. And that Reyna, she's already popped her ult, ready to fire away.
That's right. So she's looking for some early information right now, or even trying to get aggressive, but I think it just timed down. So that Empress that got popped got canceled down, which might give a chance for Down Bad to really rush into this site. Big smoke, but then we've already had the first player run through from sewers and long. And as Nerf was still looking for that recon dart to get shot, that allowed for them to push in Kuala Noob to fall. At least he gets one with him before he falls himself. Now Zambi, doing a better impression of Nerf with the Shadow Step, is able to get into safe that hell, but gets caught into the reload. Back onto trades, a 1 versus 1, and Xander capitalizes on the kill versus Inox. And you still see that this team of Down Bad has a fight in them with a little bit of fun pre-fired shots here on the dead bodies.
I was a little bit nervous there. Zambi reloading at the wrong time. Cryo just turns the corner and pops him. But at the end of the day, you can count on Xander to come up clutch. The Cypher does it once again. On the other side, keep your eyes on Cryo. The man's just got a Bucky. He is the lone player at the C site setting up on defense, as the attackers are choosing most likely to go for some early mid aggression once again behind Bancroft's flash.
Pain shells to even slow down the push. Xander is going to be the one that's trying to waste that utility on the A side. Recalls his camera too, and he's even moving with his teammates. Trying to do a little bit of what Dignitas does. Have Def try to get a little bit of map control, fall back with the team, and then try to be the entry into the site even on top of that. And they're looking for this split into the C side eventually, as Bancroft, after the smoke dissipates, Kuala Noob only with this Bucky, and that Molly's going to force him out. And he goes for the right click, I think, that doesn't get any damage onto his opponent. Still full health or very healthy, as Jet is able to move inside that site with Down Bad and go for this plant.
One enemy remaining.
Bancroft spraying through, finds the first. Xander will clean up the round. This one not done yet. We just hit a double overtime in game 2. Are we going to another OT? Will Down Bad steal this game straight up? Still plenty of time, and now they've definitely got the momentum in their favor. Let's see what Bai has put together. The operator is in the hands of SVL. We haven't seen this a ton. It's always been a Jet player, but with no Jet in the game, Kuala Noob on the Reyna. They're going to give it to the Rays to see if he can get the early pick out of the window from top B.
Okay, so I take it back. We might see a close game after all. things are looking very good now for the attack of Down Bad, looking with this aggression that they have towards this split. I think they're having Big Frames have a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, where on the attacker side of Big Frames on that previous map of Bind, it worked out very well. Yes, it's not as fast as how Big Frames are currently doing it on Bind, but when it comes to an explosion, they explode as a team without having to try to go for any lurk picks in the beginning.
Leaving the spike in between B and C. The Omen can always scoop that up for Down Bad, as Bancroft is looking for a peek. No aggression from the defense this time around, as they are being very slow in their positions, waiting for the opening information. The double stack on C hasn't happened a ton. This is the right round to do it. First man in action. We'll see if he can get the job done. It's nerfed up top.
Ooh, he nerf on top, let the run it back get through, and even drops the spike carrier and then cancels the ult after. This is such a great hold and patience control being held by Nerf. Down to a 2 versus 3, Down Bad, down by 1. I said a lot of down in an earlier round,
30 seconds
but it
left.
seems as though that Sugar were going down swinging.
One enemy remaining.
Big
There you
Frames
go.
going in
Round
now
SPL.
with Nerf. Sorry, I lost it for a second.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Nerf. Put an end to this round. And somebody put an end to this game for Big Frames. They are getting nervous here, letting the game go down to the wire. Nerf, though, you mentioned it. He shuts down the run it back, kills the spike carrier. Without killing the spike carrier, I think you would have had an opportunity to pull back for Down Bad. Instead, they're stuck, forced to move forward. Nice attempt by Agility as he cleans up the double kill. But at the end, Nerf still in the corner, using his shadow step to get in that power position, locking things up.
And looking back at that scoreboard before we came back into this round, I did call out Koala Dube at 0-6. He's now 13-16, so he has been an impact player with this operator as Reyna on the defender side, and he's looking for this kill. And there you go, adds another one to the tally. But immediately just before, Nico got the frag onto SVL, so a key player for Big Frames on the top of the scoreboard has died early. Now we're trying to get information though with the from the shadows, and they know that it's still going to be a very slow hit for Down Bad.
Koala just peeking the corners. Meanwhile, that spike, it's long gone. It's going to be moving up the middle of the map. Double cameras. You can see the ciphers just scouting through the center, as it'll be the double stack once again. You got to power your way first through Nerfed, and then Cryo, the top fragger for Big Frames throughout this night. He also has the ultimate ready to rip. The Hunter's Fury could be the end of the road for Down Bad here on Haven.
Yeah, and it went from A back to C and back to A for Down Bad, and Nico gets the opening onto Koala Noob. So winning that is a huge fight for Down Bad to try to make this a 12-10. But as they turn around the corner, they did not expect Inox to be just by Graffiti, but he gets immediately traded out. Here comes the Hunter's Fury just to try to cancel the plant, and it works. Looking for the third, does not ping onto the kill. So no kill secured, Nerf the fall, and now Crycells is on his own. And he goes for shock darts at default, but just a little bit too late. The spike has went down, and Down Bad is looking very good to make this a 12-10. They're gonna save this Hunter Fury. They're definitely gonna save it now after that kill. But at least a trade and the avenge comes in for Zambi, as Down Bad just needs 2 more to bring this into overtime.
I love that fake double plant, by the way. You did a fantastic job, and when the real plant went down, you knew the shock darts were coming in. He knows the lineup. Everyone at this level is going to know the default lineup. They get the plant down, instantly get it out of there, and you see Zambi now at the top of the leaderboard, picking up his 16th kill and a crucial 10th round win. They need 2 more to force this to overtime. Can they do it again? Down Bad able to steal game 2? Excuse me, game 1, trying to do it again here in game 3. And Zambi, he could see some early action from the defense. His location given away, though, and Koala Noob could pounce with the help of his Cypher.
That's a huge dart, but the thing is, just on the other side is going to be Omen. That is going to be Zambi for Down Bad around that corner. And as he tries to peek for information, there's a possibility that you do get the upper hand, but no, you don't. Now you run across. It's a fake 50 check. but Koala Noob is in a tight spot. He dismisses away, but there you go. Surprise, Nico dashes forward to make sure that his barrel is into his opponent's stomach. As he comes out from the dismiss, it's going to be a free open sight after that kill. Recon Dart, though, reveals the position of Bancroft, and we do have another trade-off. It's a 2 versus 2. Bancroft with the curveball. Bancroft is also going to be with his teammates to make this a 2 versus 1 with agility. So Cryocells in this low buy is trying to get something done. He eats 2 darts, runs through the blaze wall, and agility gets the kill. It all comes down to the last round of this half in regulation once again.
Zambi getting the first pick and then recognizing the fact that there is a tripwire allows Nico to get the info. He bursts forward and gets the trades down long C. Excellent reactions, fantastic comms being shown by Down Bad in what could have been a really sticky situation. Now it's time to clutch. What do you got in the tank? What have you been saving these ultimates for? What is the go-to strat to lock up around on the attack, knowing on the other side there's an Empress and a hat ready to drop on your body?
Definitely. So pressure is on for both of these teams. The tension is high. Down Bad with the adrenaline trying to bring this into overtime. But Big Frames probably nervous that they don't want to face, again, another overtime where potentially the victory could slip between their fingers. So Big Frames playing it very passively this time, not looking for any aggression, any map control towards the long A side or C control like they did on the previous round. They just want to play for the stack.
Agility on this Sova could be crucial. You see the opposing drone checking garage, making sure it's clear from the defense. It's going to be Cryo playing deep with his Reyna holding the tight corner from the box. That's going to be Koala, most likely an op, looking straight at you if you're Bancroft coming around this corner. Good dart is going to set him up for the first headshot. Now it's going to be Nico bursting forward with the blades. They're finding 2, but it's now a 2-on-2.
Can it get it done? 25 seconds left for this plant will go down, but it's planted for a spawn where the defenders are not rotating from. So this is perfect right now for Bancroft and for Xander to try to get, or Zambi, sorry, to try to get this. Nerf trying to walk up towards long C. His teammate up SVL inside the garage.
Joke's over.
Smoke towards that
It's a
spawn.
3v2 as you hear the run it back.
Yeah, that's going to give a lot of info.
SVL.
Oh no! SVL gets the backstab on a Zambi, and that leaves now Nerf
He's gonna have the body.
on a 2. Well, that 2 versus 1. Yeah, this is going to be a nice molly 2, but SVL gets it. That's it. Pluck it. It's 13-11 for Big Frames on this third map.
Such rough timing for Down Bad. They go for the paranoia at the worst time as Zambi is caught with his pick in the first game on ice. Now, we'll see. Can they get over that loss? Because they felt they should have been in overtime. I think they're talking about at the end of that game, how do you just throw that out the window and get your game right going into a map that you haven't had to play a ton, Valorant?
Yeah. Yeah, and even on top of that, I mean, it was a victory that might have seemed that it was stolen away from them, but that's probably how Big Frames felt on that first map of Icebox. So again, a little taste of their own medicine, and we've seen when that happened for Big Frames. On that second map, they just dominated the whole map. Is that going to happen right now for Down Bad? Potentially at this point, as on the attack now, we do have the pistol round underway. Big Frames looking for the control towards mid side and also for a split eventually into B. But just around the corner is going to be Bancroft. Low HP is Koala Noob. Sprays through the smoke. 2 to fall right now for Big Frames as we only have 1 dead for Down Bad. So a 1-minute advantage. Pushing in through that smoke. The battle with the spike down. Big mistake to try to have the spike down towards the pizza side on this split. As now the door will be closed and Cryocells stuck on a 4 versus 1.
Yeah, good luck, Cryo. He's got the frenzy, so could at least take out multiple opponents if they rush them together, but you're on defense of 4v1. You're just going to play this one as slow as you want. He's got to come to you. You got the spike in mid.
And that's it. As he tries to look for some control here towards that B side, gets melted down by Zambi, and that is going to be the pistol round in favor of Down Bad, sorry. As it was much needed here for them to get that morale, get the momentum. Again, a heartbreaking loss that they had on that third map. They really want to try to come back with a bang in the second one, or this fourth one, sorry. But that said, though, for Big Frames, even though they've lost that pistol and had no spike plant, and they also only had 1 kill out of this bucket, they're still going for a frenzy buy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Jet on the side for down bad, and it looks like Nico wants to go with the operator in round 3. So they're really banking on a clutch round 2, knowing that both of these teams love to buy up. At minimum, they're coming at you with some armor and stingers, but Bancroft is going to find the first headshot of the round and the second for his squad. It's going to be Nerfed and SVL answering back, and they will get out with a little bit of low health on Nerfed. But plenty of time left for the attackers working behind Inox.
Yeah, that stinger, it kind of feels like when you're at a fair game. You know, you have the pellet shot that you're trying to shoot out the star. It comes out as fast, and it's so deadly. So hard to control on a long range, but someone like Bancroft makes it look like a rifle, and I love watching it. I want to try to get to that level, but I need some time. With that, though, we are moving into the site for Big Frames. We will get a plant.
Bancroft's going to find his third, and got to give props to the Killjoy. It's going to be Xander using his nanos, have dropped everyone's armor. Bancroft going for his second ace of the night. He got one in the semifinals. Is he going to find SVL? He's charging right through, and there we go. Ace for Bancroft. Xander's going to hop on the bomb, and it is a 2-0 start with your Jet finding up in round 3.
And this is the thing. They're going to be in a round where third round coming into this into this map, you already have a run it back ready. This could potentially catch them off guard into the third round, maybe even into the fourth round, as you are now forcing Big Frames on a save. Bancroft, like I said, they want to come back and send a message back over to the attacker set of Big Frames to start things off. The thing is, they cannot really set the tone or set the pace early into this game because they're starting off on the defender side. We saw how fast that was on the first half of Bind on that second map for Big Frames because they had control of the map. They had to force and press the issue. They were the ones on the attack. And this time, though, Big Frames, they're forced to play slow because of players like Bancroft right now really want to try to bring it to that last and final map in this best out of 5.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but the new op is called a stinger. It's all stingers out here for down bad. They know they're going up against sheriffs. They're saying, you know what? Let's just save our money, guys. Let's just pound them again with the rapid fire here of the SMG. We can hold the tight angles. They have to push through us. Just don't give them the headshot. As long as you don't give them the heady, we're good to go on defense. Already 40 seconds burned off the clock. Big Frames starting to take some mid control, though, and they're looking for a lead paranoia. Once again, will it be Nerfed to set up their success as he is flirting with Bancroft, the top Slayer, who already has his run it back. The Stinger finds Cryo, and it's only a matter of time before Bancroft finds a second here.
Another long-range spray, a second kill to connect onto Nerf, trying to go for the burst down towards that fountain, even with the re-heal. Zambi also pushing up towards Catwalk. This is just not looking good at all for Big Frames, unfortunately, and it almost worked out because actually it would have worked out no matter what. I feel that down bad or doing a very good job to read how this attacker side of Big Frames is currently playing. Again, for a team that doesn't have experience, or we don't have that type of documentation of how they play on a map like Ascent, to see them rotate out of the A side and almost stack 4 players on mid and still get the first blood and knowing that the spike was there, that's just knowing how your opponent plays, and you studied their demos.
Now you know they're buying up, and Nico is going to invest in the operator while everyone else still sticking with 3 Stingers and a Spectre. So interesting buy here for down bad, and Bancroft showing you I'm banking on a Sheriff headshot over this Stinger damage. The run it back could set up the whole play on defense, though. You don't have to sit and wait for them to push you. You can still get weird, especially find some timings as they're pushing through the mid. A lot of times there's a gap that you can hit and especially exploit with curveballs like Phoenix.
Well, mid control seems to be the name of the game still for Big Frames, and that Owl drone tries to clear it out and at least forces the operator to fall back for down bad back inside that B site. Now with the run it back, you're looking for information. Good way to call it out here for down bad with Bancroft moving forward. It's going to get canceled out, and he's going to spot 2 players up on catwalk, which does give a tell that an A side is happening. So you see that early rotate from Bancroft all the way towards spawn. You have 1 player playing at generator, which is going to be their own Sova as agility, and Hot Hands in the front of the A main splits up the push inside the site, and that means now they have a 1-minute advantage and 2 players low for Big Frames. But down bad is looking to take another round in their favor.
They got the information from the run it back, but it's the Hot Hands. The low purchased investment is going to be the difference maker. It stopped the spike, it refused the plant, and it allows everyone to get there in time as Nico closes out the round with a kill on SVL. A little bit weird to see SVL on the breach. That one continues to catch me off guard, but no surprise to see Nerfed on top of the leaderboard. If you were watching our semifinals earlier, we saw an excellent attempt from our 3rd seed, as we saw it was the boys on Balance Esport. I should actually say the 2nd seed, Valen, and of course Nerfed. We're popping off. It was the Omens on top of the leaderboard. So far, a slow start for Nerfed, but look for that man to heat up, especially once they get the spike finally planted.
And that's the thing for Big Frames. You see from the composition that they have, having only 1 duelist. You've mentioned it before, Puckett. It's actually a lot more difficult now to try to get that aggression and map control. So you're really counting on your single duelist to try to create that space. But again, unfortunately, a slow start for Koala Noob. Currently 0-4, but after losing Pistol, the force buys and everything, it's totally understandable. Once it gets to maybe a 5-0, there's a potential that it could be a 5-1. I'm saying a 5-0 just because they're low on a buy here right now and the chances aren't in their favor. And just by the way that Bancroft has been playing on the defender side, it's just so hard for Big Frames to even step a foot into any of the sites so far.
Paranoia is going to find Bancroft, forcing him into the corner. He still finds the headshot on Koala, who goes 0-5 to open things up. It's only been 4 rounds. 0-4, I can count. Bancroft, though, I mean, what else can we say about this guy? He's not making a salary yet. I'm about to sign him myself.
You know what? You're actually totally right, Chris. You had it right the first time. It's 0-4, but we are in the 5th round, so you die, you're 0-5.
Yeah. Jeez, thanks, buddy.
You had it.
Drink whatever caffeine I have left in my house. Let's get it, baby.
Xander with the kill onto Nerf as we're looking for the plant inside the B site. Bancroft trying to run through this smoke. The advantage still comes in for the number advantage of down bad. A 3 versus 2, a big rolling thunder, and Cryocells comes in from behind and never saw him coming from the logs. So just like that, it's a 1 versus 1. SVL with the stinger, despite not getting any stuns with the rolling thunder. It was a great element of surprise to let Cryocell come out from the logs and surprise, 2 down.
2 ultimates invested there as Nerfed and SVL put theirs to use, but they get the control of B site, and SVL winning the final fight will put them on the board. On the opposing side, you still have to deal with an operator, but Koala Noob, he's finally got his weapon of choice. Keep your eyes on the red jet. What will the attacker be able to do in the middle? We're going to see a jet showdown, op versus op, to open things up.
Yeah, and you saw there was an attempt to try to go for a jiggle peek and bait out a shot, and especially due to the fact, as you said, Puckett, with this duel from the operators towards mid, you never went for a smoke early. But as that happens, Bancroft thought that he was going to be able to move forward on that catwalk and try to get a backstab onto anybody for Big Frames, but it seems like Inox was waiting for that there towards that B link, drops him, and that weakens down towards the A side. But that's an owl drone that's going to give a lot of information. That's gonna catch SVL currently rotating from mid towards this B side, but nobody rotates across. Being 1 man under for down bad, they're just trying to play a 2-2.
You should
So
run.
much Killjoy equipment waiting for you on the other side of this wall, and you can see it's just patient play from the center of the map by Xander. Koala looking for the peak. Sees a shock dart coming his way. Removes the turret, and now you got to look out for the Sova ultimate. The Hunter's Fury tagging up nobody yet.
30
Looking,
seconds left.
but still searching for a kill is down bad as everyone gets onto the B site.
Yeah, and here comes the first kill on the board for Koala Noob, landing that shot with the operator. You know what? I called a 5-0 before, but they were able to catch up onto this one, so they were able to do a great job here from Big Frames with that save that they had previously. Now that allows the money to come in for Koala He gets a leg shot into agility, so he's starting to feel it. He's starting to turn up. Look to see Koala Look at that. He doesn't want to let him escape. He went for the Blade Storm dash and the kill to say, look, I'm on the board. I'm in this game. You guys have to start looking out for me.
Secure the op whatever way you can, right? Keep it in your hands as they are letting the alts go. You saw 2 of them invested in round number 5. Now you see a few more starting to be popped as Inox as well as Koala getting the job done in round 6. That's back-to-back, and you need just one more round to break the bank fully here from the defenders. What does Down Bad have left in the tank? They can't allow Bancroft to continue to peak. He's been punished the last 2 rounds.
That's right. So that confidence, that early aggression now is being leveled out by Big Frames, knowing this aggression that comes in from Bancroft. So now that you've seen them slowly creeping back these rounds on the attacker side, Down Bad has to play it a little bit more conservatively, where they just want to play with the abilities that they have to try to slow down these pushes instead of going for body peaks. That confidence has now been neutralized. Well done here for Big Frame so far.
They've got mid control, starting to make their way towards the A side. It's going to be Inox leading the charge. On the other side, you're waiting for Xander. And of course, all of the Killjoy gear to be taken down from Tree. Will the dart land and do its job? Or are we going to see a lockdown coming in right here from the defense? Nerf is going to stop him here.
Thirty seconds left.
Well, Spike gets dropped, and now it's going to get picked up at a point where they couldn't get that lockdown from Down Bad because they got initially pushed down towards that tree. Here comes a drop from above. Inox gets the frag. Zambi then trades it back. But as they haven't got the spike plan yet, I like how they have to play aggressively out towards the open for the defender side. The Koala News supports his teammate, gets that op shot onto agility, and they cannot stop the plant, which makes it so much harder for Zambi. And Koala New, like I said, that's a 3 kill for this round. A hat trick for the Opper, and now he's on the mid side of the board, being tied up at first place with Inox and Nerf in the fragging department.
I always enjoy watching Xander, especially when he's on the Cypher. Just seemed a little uncomfortable there with Killjoy, getting greedy with the peaks, and he was punished by Nerf. That opened the whole thing up. And he saw Bancroft, the hero, after getting a pick up top, come storming onto site. But the patient play, they know it. Big Frames playing for time. They wait for the drop down, get the punish, and then secure it with 10 seconds left on the clock. This time, they're hitting it fast and they're hitting it hard. They've broken the bank. It's time to punish.
Al Drone does not spawn anybody yet. Gives a clue that it's going to be a retake play, so we're just running in. Even not using the initiator to go for the fault line. It's just, I'm going to run in as Inox. I'm going to try to get an entry. I know that it's a low buy for the defenders, and the spike is even getting planted out in the open, where they didn't even focus to try to run in and close the door. Meanwhile, though, Nerf is able to get 2 kills on towards that mid side, rotate from mid. And now with the last 3 players, they don't have to worry about any type of flankers for Big Frames. They can just focus now towards this door as Koala Noob gets the first kill onto Xander. And last one to stand is going to be Bancroft. Couple of shock darts trying to fall away. He does have a stinger floating above, trying to go for 180s. But it's going to be Cryo Cells sealing the flawless for Big Frames and tying the game up 4-4.
Excellent work there by SBL, setting up his teammates with the flashes, but it was nerfed. The late peek into mid, catching the rotation on the Cat. That was against pistols, though. Now you're playing against the big guns. Huge round here. 4 opening rounds for the defense, 4 answers back by the attackers. And now we could see the first lead in game number 4 from the team that is up 2-1 in the best of 3. Let's keep our eyes on Big Frame on the attack here. I've got my eyes on the Omen once again. It's Nerf back on top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, back on top of the leaderboard and back on top of this wall as they're trying to see if any early peaks is going to happen towards A main. They are still looking to continue now the same way as they had towards mine. You see this change of pace. It went from slow pace, and once they got the money back, once Koala Noob's starting to land these shots, they're just running into the site. No, again, no fault lines, no curve, no flash points. They're just running in, and they're trusting the trade plays instead. And it's paying off. It's a 5-on-4 early aggression, a post plant where it's so difficult for them to retake the site now for the defenders. And even a utility being used by Inox, there's just so much.
Koala Noob, the lone duelist, is able to hit the first shot, takes down Nico, operator down, and he dashes away to safety. Bancroft was able to take down Inox, so this is going to make it a 2-on-3. Make it a 2-on-2 as agility comes from the top. It's all up to the Phoenix. Can Bancroft be the legend for his team once again? Taps the spike. No bait taken yet, and he will find the final headshot of the round. Dies to the spike, though. All the effort just gonna slowly empty the bank. His team's in trouble, though, as now they have given up the lead, and Koala Noob still has the operator to work with on the attacks here.
That's right, and Koala Noob doesn't mind to lose that 1-versus-1 or lose his op because they've won 5 rounds in a row. They're looking very comfortable in the bank for this 10th round, 11th round, no, 10th round of this first half, and still looking pretty decent in terms of the economy following their full buy into this round here. So Koala Noob does have a Blade Storm, Nerf does have From the Shadows, and we also have the Killjoy ult ready for Inox. Meanwhile, though, on the defender side, there is actually no Hunter's Fury. So this is a potential that they throw. There you go. It's going to be an ultimate towards the B side, but at the same time, it's looking to be a fake. But what changes here for the attackers is that they have Silva to support. He's going to throw the recon dart. He's going to throw the some shock darts to pull the rotation out from the A side. But again, down bad, they're not buying it. Once they get into this A main, it's still going to be difficult for Bancroft to try to win this.
Inox has been hot.
For
He's
Big
been
to
not,
get into A.
he's hot once again. Keep your eyes on the Killjoy. Meanwhile, the Bulldog doing its job in the middle of the map as agility finds Cryo. Spike still in the hands of Nerfed. 3 versus 4. You're down a man, but plenty of time left. 47 seconds, and Inox is trying to work his way onto this B site. Has to get through the turret, and that's going to be the smoke he needed to push forward. Can Inox get the backstab? If so, expect the Spike to come running up the gut over to the B site as he closes the door.
30 seconds
Oh, that's
left.
perfect. Because they have From the Shadows, you take control of the site, just go From the Shadows for Nerf, get the plan at a default spot, and now you have that third player that was still playing towards the A main could now become the lurker, and that is going to be SVL as that breach in the middle of the site. So everybody right now could just worry towards defender spawn, while SVL will eventually come in for the backstab on market. The thing is, though, is down bad have all 4 of their players rotating in from the spawn side, where maybe a fault line could help, and that Killjoy ult is going to be huge too.
We saw Nerf get a 1v3 clutch earlier in the semifinals from the same position. He's got the paranoia loaded up, and he's got to do it once again. All of his help gone. This time, though, it's going to be a pinch from all directions as the spike is going to be jumped on. Does he have time? Yes, he does it. I take it back. Woo. It's going to be a 6th round now for Big Frames. Production, if we can we up the audio just a bit?
Yeah, that was a nice little clutch there. So not getting the highlight reel with the kills, it's good enough for him to waste that clock. Let's count that as a highlight reel, definitely for Nerve at that point. So with that spike going off, that's 6 unanswered rounds for Big Frames, which means they're definitely comfortable looking at the last 2 rounds of the half here for healthy buys. And this is going to be a tough spot for down bad, because they're losing this on the attacker side. Once Big Frames takes the defender side, they've been good on that too. This is going to be out of reach for them to try to bring this to a 5th map.
Yeah, down bad. I feel like they know they should have won that last round. They had the man advantage despite the worst weaponry. Inox just continues to be a thorn in their side. Xander trying to punish the opposing Killjoy, though, and his sheriffs are going to land. Double headshot, last man standing. This round's over. Can you save a gun? Might have to go for a hero play, and that seems to be the decision. As he peeks, though, 2 Vandals will be waiting. It's Cryo at range, going to finish the job from up top.
Last round.
And that's confidence right there. How ballsy that is from Qualamute to still push towards the defender spawn and try to ensure that Xander's not going to be able to save his weapon. You saw it when we were in his point of view. He's at 1 HP. But definitely with what he has and what impact he's done towards the later half of the first half has been huge now for the team. Now in the middle of the board at 8 kills. At some point he was on the top of the board, getting the entries and even holding sights on the takes for Big Frames to get into the A side. You got to give it back to him here, the praise that he deserves. Now into the last round of the first half, though, the split is going to be slow for the attackers to look to potentially work towards this catwalk for a split to A.
I just want to remind you guys how we got here. Down Bad started with incredible stuff from their Phoenix. We saw Bank open things up with 7-1 in the opening 4 rounds. Since then, they have shut them down. The economy has always been in favor of Big Frames. The clutches have been in favor of Big Frames. If they can finish this one 8-4, it'll be just the way they started on Icebox in the very first map. But as attackers, that's a statement on the map ascent. Nico is going to find the first pick on Inox, so the Killjoy down. Now you just got to collect 4 more.
Yeah, that's huge right now. For that first kill and that first blood, and also forcing a rotation into the A side and spray through the smoke for the second kill. This could be good to stop the bleeding right now for Down Bad. If they could finish 7-5, that could bring their morale back into the second half. With that, though, we're still pushing into the site, and it's going to be SVL that has different plans. Now, even with a Rolling Thunder, they could try to use this towards the site, and there you go. They use it right now. The smoke dissipates. They go for the double peek towards the spawn side, but it's still going to be the spawn defenders that takes the upper hand, and we will be able to get that 5th round for Down Bad.
All right, so there we have it, a 7-5 half as the final round of the half is going to go back in favor of Down Bad. We got to welcome Frodan back in here. Frodan, some incredible action. Inox leading for the boys from Big Frames. Do you think they have it in the bag here? Are they going to lock it up on defense?
I think they will, and I think that Vancilia and I will look smart. Puckett, there's still time. I want to let you know, there's still time to join the winning side. Would you like to switch your pick at all? One last final option,
for the third
Puckett.
time.
You know, I would love to, but at this point, I think I got to hold my L. I'm just going to sit with it for a little bit. Honestly, I want to see a game 5, though. We're already up at 1 a.m. Let's just keep this rolling into the night. Big Frames, I love you guys, but give me one more. I want to see all 5 maps here in Valorant. Nerfed, don't do what I think you're going to do here this round.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
I
big
think it's
recon
going to turn
dart.
from SDL.
Sorry about that, Frodan. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, no, I was about to make some corny pun about how SVL's turn into SVW, but, you know, continue, guys. I don't want to get in your way because the action is heating up here for the second half. Good luck on the rest of the cast. I'll catch you on the other side.
Much love, buddy.
So now
Great to have Frodan join us.
One enemy remaining.
Now the action comes through on a 1 versus 1. After all this chaos, it comes down to a recon dart that allows to get a couple of defenders kills on this push attempted towards the A side. But in the end, on this 1 versus 1, it's gonna be Inox that's gonna be able to win this, clutch this, and get the pistol for the defenders, which means at this point here, Bucket, with the role that they've been having, because they've, won how many rounds in a row? 7 rounds in a row before they lost one. But now that you win the pistol, the momentum could switch back in their favor, where unfortunately, we may not see this 5th map.
5th map might not be in the cards if they keep playing like this. Nerfed finding the first headshot through his smoke. It's just a small sample of what might continue to come. As it's going to be Spectres versus Stingers. Everyone buying up armor. It's do or die time right now if you are a fan of the underdogs. Down Bad, the youngsters coming into this without an org. They've made it this far. They're in the money. But only one team is walking away with $6,000 tonight. And it's Big Frames set up for success. Jet is going to burst onto the site. Now it's Nerf spraying through with Koala Noob, and 2 kills already being scored. Nico and friends running out of gas as they challenge at the door. That's the round. Nerf collects all 3, and he didn't even get seen by a player that round.
Yeah, that was basically a repeat of the pistol round. You had the same thing, Cryocell inside the smoke, Nerf just around the corner. a recon dart to come out, and then as they try to come in, boom, everybody gets melted down. And at this point though, we weren't able to get any spike plant for the attackers, which means now that down bad or down on the economy, where only Bancroft is going to buy us small shields, but we do have sheriffs across the board.
These pistol rounds have been so crucial to Big Frame's success. If you look at the Spike GG stats after this tournament, you will see they have been dominant in the opening rounds of a game as well as the second half. It has set them up for success, and being able to deny those stinger pushes, well, it is putting them in a great position. Bancroft trying once again to pull off some heroics with the Sheriff as he gets first blood, but you still got to get through 4 more, including the Killjoy, Inox, who has been top fragging for Big Frames here in what could be the final game of the night. As I say it, I curse him. Zambi's going to find the headshot. 2 down, 3 to go, baby.
Now it's an open sight. Moving in is going to be Nico at the point, just trying to pre-fire into the smoke just to scare the defenders. And speaking about scared defenders, they're so far on the rotate still. The third player nerf all the way still at A. But meanwhile, Koala Noob and his teammate as Cryocell are still doing their job towards that market. So they even a tally on a 3 versus 3. One person on the sidewalk, and that is going to be Nico going for the wall bang. Cryocell's trying to go back and forth. He's dodging bullets, and now he eats the bullets as he falls, unfortunately. Through the smoke, Koala Noob evens it up on a 2 versus 2. Both players now on the attack on this post plant, holding towards the boathouse. Koala Noob now with the blade storm coming out. Big paranoia, and he's trying to float into the boathouse. And that's a right click and a headshot from Nerf at the same time. Xander and Nico simultaneously die, and the retake will come into fruition for the defenders with 0.73 seconds left on the clock.
And that's the point where you see the coaches start to wrap up their whistle. They start to change on the bench. They know this one is in the books. Big Frames crushing the soul after dropping the first 2 players in the round. They clutch up, and Koala Noob, he earns himself the ultimate with that kill on the Sova. Instantly pops out the blades and then simply floats his way to the back of the map to finish it strong. What a performance from the Jet, the resurgence from the man who has seemed a little off his game on Reyna, finding his comfort pick once again on the fastest agent in the game.
So are you telling me, Puckett, that right now you blow the whistle and you kind of bring the Jeremy Lin onto the court? He wears the arm sleeve, goes on the court for 10 seconds, and still gets a ring?
I think that's the plan at this time. You're like, hey, do we have a 6-man? Coach, do you want to get in for like a round here? Use my mouse. I know it's COVID. Wash your hands
If
first.
anything, there's a potential that the 6-man is going to be the turret as well for Inox. But as we talk about how he could be in the bag for Big Frames, they are dropping like flies, one by one, on different parts of the map. The aggression that they want to bring into this game gets punished from their aggression, and an easy plant comes now for down bad, who are looking to make this 6-10. The last 2 guys, you could definitely see, they want to try to make this expensive. I mean, it is a bonus round, which I understand the aggression that they had on that previous round. So the next round is definitely going to be the deciding factor now for down bad. Thankfully for them, though, Puckett, they were able to get a flawless round.
I gotta give props though to Down Bad as well. They never give up without a fight. They showed it right there. They get the first pick on Inox, and after that, well, they slowly start to work their way in. When they've got rifles in hand, it's a totally different team when they're up against the superior firepower. And now as you take a look at the buy coming in from Big Frames, we've got a bit of a mix here. Koala Noob able to acquire the Operator. We got a Bulldog in the mix, a Guardian and a half shield, as well as a Stinger on SVL. They're prioritizing the utility over the weaponry, and this could be a tough situation for the defense here as we go into round 17.
Yeah, this is interesting here. We're trying to do the fake this time for down bad, putting the ult on the A side instead, and they're going to try to book it into B. The thing is, they're walking into opposition from Inox's ability, as Killjoy, as they're pushing down towards that sidewalk. He's just going to be by his lonesome in the back of the site. Agility watching him flank towards that spawn. A flash to come out, but Agility lets 1 pass, lets 2 pass, connects with 2, goes for the hat trick no matter what, and it's still going to be the Killjoy in the back of the site staying alive, and Nerf to help him out. A 2 versus 2 with a spike down. They're looking for the clutch. It's going to be Bancroft trying to move forward, getting wall banged a little bit. Is going to be his teammate. as Bancroft is moving down, back onto the sidewalk, trying to set up this crossfire. The spike is still down towards the back of the boathouse, and Nerf looking for the third clutch in this series, or at least in this tournament, on a 1 versus 1.
Well, Spike's been gathered. 30 seconds left. Props to Nerf in this scenario. Just perfect movement around the map. His Killjoy, she was dead to rights. Nerf, though, knew that he just had to buy himself some time. And a clutch 1v1 this could be. He has been so good in these scenarios, especially on this site. The Killjoy turret gonna watch the flank, but he knows all I need is a single headshot. There is the bot giving away his position, and he's got to try again. It's just a confidence peak at this point.
Oof. Well done there. Exactly. The confidence peak from both ends. You just want to play aim map at that point. Xander peeks his little dome on the top of the hat. The green toque sticks out, but it's still going to be him being crisper on that 1 versus 1 to win it. To play a little bit more passively for Nerf, I get it, because you're trying to cut over the crossfire to make sure that Xander is not able to run back towards the A side and get the plant there instead. But the thing is, you gave a lot of time for Xander to play the pulse plant, putting an alarm bot on the staircase, putting a turret back at the boathouse to watch the sidewalk. He basically could just stand behind his boxes, and his utility is going to give enough information for him to win that 1 versus 1. So all the chances in his favor to allow Down Bad to get this round.
All right, they come storming out with sheriffs, and they will be met by phantoms and vandals. The spray down in Long B as Big Frames just wants this round over with. It's only Nerf left alive, and maybe it's time to put the juice boxes back in the coolers, take the cookies out of their hands. This game is not over. Down Bad showing some life. Not only do they have the weapons here, Van Silly, we're looking at least 4 ultimates going into the next round, assuming Nerf doesn't do something miraculous here in the 1 versus 5.
Well, not to harp on my buddy Nerf, but with his shadow steps, I don't know if there's going to be a miracle 5 versus 1, especially now with the spike being planted towards the B side. The least moment of salvation is that he will be able to save this Phantom. Actually, they're trying to hunt him down. They're going to hear him coming up towards Catwalk. He won't be able to save it. So that's it. 8-10 right now in favor of Big Frames. 2 rounds to tie up the matchup, actually, in this 4th map for Down Bad. And like you said here, Puckett, they have 4 ults ready. They could get any type of map control towards A or B to get the 5th ult. And the thing is, for Cryocells, he's at 3 and 7. They could go for this battle towards the B side, pick up the orb, and then go for the ult into the B side too. There's so many possibilities that could be done right now for Down Bad into round number 20. 19, sorry.
Keep your eyes on Xander. This could be a big orb. It's going to be a battle going up against the Jet from Big Frames. Koala Noob versus Xander, and he is not going to get the orb at the start. Instead, gives up that position as the whole squad is going to be loading up towards A, where 3 defenders are waiting. And that's a nice little molly to the corner. Going to force out anyone who is there. They know they've got control of the catwalk. No worries at this point. And I think we could see the full-on hit. The question is, who's going to pop the ult first? It's going to be Bancroft leading the charge, and he is hit with a fault line. That is going to slow down the run it back. Excellent stuff on the defensive side as Nerf holds his own.
Yeah, and even on top of that, the flashpoint. But the thing is, they're still pushing in towards A main. So as SVL is still focused on trying to prevent Bancroft to get anything done towards the tree, you have a couple of players pushing in towards the A side, and they also take control of the site. Thing is, though, we do have already a rotation coming out from Koala Noob and from Nerf. And Nerf, one of the clutches that you really want from Big Frames based on what we've seen so far. And Koala Noob, if he's able to turn up like he did with the Operator in that first half, this could still be very winnable. But there's such a patient play right now for Down Bad. A crossfire towards the A main. They have Omen that's still alive. The Silver Dart to get it some information. And even playing inside that smoke, it's just not going to be doable right now for Big Frames on this retake.
One enemy remaining.
Hey, you made it pricey. So now, at least Nerf coming out of this round, he's able to get 4 kills out of that. Yes, they still get the round at least for the attackers for Down Bad, but they also lost their weapons. But they've won 4 rounds in a row. So they're very rich right now. They have 4 ultimates to work with again, because after getting that spike plant, Xander has one ready, or even dying in that previous round, he has the ultimate ready moving into round number 20. So again, another situation where the game is getting very close between these two teams. What can be done so far? It seems to be just aggression towards this B side, like I mentioned before, because you don't have the Hunter's Fury, because you have an opportunity to put down the lockdown and move inside this B side, but it's still going to be Inox that gets the first kill into the round. So a stinger, a force buy for the defenders, with the first one to fall for down bad, and Bancroft actually is walking into the site. Looking back here versus SVL, the body peek as he shows himself, but that also gives a tell that Bancroft is trying to take control here of the shed. At the switch, wall bang, Inox is pretty much at 2 HP, literally. But at least he's able to survive. And as they fake a run out into the A side, you still have the spike walking back into B main. So there's a potential that there's going to be a late re-hit into the B site. The thing is, though, for Big Frames, is they have a Killjoy ult, and they have the Breach ult, which means that the Rolling Thunder from SVL could be very detrimental to down back with this fake coming back into this B-side push. So with 38 seconds left on the clock, here comes the execution, and let's see if that Rolling Thunder will come in big, and it does. So many people are being stunned so far, but Nico still gets an entry onto cryo cells from the spawn side. Clock is ticking down, though. Bancroft is trying to move down, and he gets that second kill. Big flashpoint, though, in the back for SVL. He's looking for the aftershock, the jiggle peek, and now they're pushing in from both angles. He takes one down with him. There's 13 seconds left on the clock, and they try to get this plant down. Paranoia now coming out from Nerf. That's another kill. That's a second kill, and it's a 1 versus 1 that Koalanu comes out with the op, and he's able to win this for Big Frames, but you have to give it to SVL and also to Inox to try to run down that clock and use that Rolling Thunder in their favor, and not also showing out their bodies. They're trying to let their opponents come towards them. They run down that clock, and that allows a clutch player like Nerf, like I said before, has been a key role to this team for Big Frames, being the veteran to this team, and now brings things up to a 23 kills, 13 deaths, and 7 assists on top of that to be able to help him and Koala Noob go for the clutch. With that, though, I'm now joined by Frodan to try to continue this matchup, as we lost Chris for a bit, but we'll get him back soon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be worried at all. Frodan, take this round away from me.
Oh my goodness, what a close to round 20 with a big time clutch coming out from Big Frames in the 2v3 scenario. A missed dash here from Koala, who puts him out of position and gets picked off immediately. That's a huge pickup from down bad, looking to make that momentum. Bancroft with the run it back to try to clear out some space. Not gonna really find too much going on here, as the A sites have all been abandoned outside of heaven. And so Bancroft doesn't really get valuable information. And Nerf with the double cleanup and was waiting. Usually you need somebody to watch. They had 2 and it still wasn't enough. Big pickoffs from Big Frames, and now only Xander is what stands between a guaranteed overtime point for Big Frames on Ascent.
This is so big, and because of that small mistake here, Frodan, they were able to actually, this time, we could definitely call it a waste of an ultimate on that lockdown. They were so ready to actually get into the site. That run it back from Bancroft, I was going to say, was going to be huge no matter what, because he created so much space. There's nobody playing towards hell. He even uses a run it back to close the switch. But as they come back, another surprise coming in from Nerf, and he gets a 3K into that round. And now, map, series point, and championship point for Big Frames for the WSOE Online 5, the Valorant tournament, brought to you by GoPuff. And now, well, GoPuff, not GoPruff. GoPuff being our main sponsor into this event. Let's see what happens. Can down bad stay alive?
Nerf coming up huge. Ascent is his playground. It is Nerf's world, and we're just all witnessing what he can do. The devastation, getting into the right positions at the right time. How does he do it so consistently against the field today? Agility setting out a couple of shock darts here, as we do see down bad shifting over closer to the A side after controlling mid. And with that, Big Frames trying to play it very methodically and hold off while they anticipate a little bit of a rotation. 5 stacked here on A lobby, trying to make some magic happen. This is where their backs are in the corner, and they need to come up big here, otherwise their tournament is over.
That's right, and even Nerf walks through the smoke just to try to stay alive, making sure that they clear up Catwalk. So this is going to be a 5-man retake now for the defenders. They have a lockdown to try to get things done. They also have the From the Shadows. They have the Blade Storm, but Bancroft is the one that's pushing through the spawn. Inox trades it out with 2. It's down to a 3 versus 3. Inox with the 3rd kill, looking to fly towards the air. It's Koala Noob with the 2 kills on the last 2 players. The Defuse and Big Frames to be crowned the champion versus Down Bad. Puckett, what a round on this play.
Are you kidding me? The classic to close it out. Love to see it. It went down to the wire just when I thought Down Bad was going to bring us all the way back to overtime. Big Frame shuts the door and is walking away with our 6th